I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right.
I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson
You just gotta keep living, man.
and Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
5 wins in a row for this Arkansas basketball team with a 9-point victory over Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi last night. You've really had Kermit Davis and that basketball team's number the last few years. I think you've won 8 of the last 9, so good to see Arkansas get another road victory. They just hampered them defensively, keeping that streak going of holding SEC opponents in this win streak to under 40%. There's a huge NIL deal that came out from the Hunt family yesterday, and we kind of kept it under wraps until it was announced. This is a big deal, and I want to talk about that later on in the program. JD Notte is the guy that's the front and center of that whole thing with the AAC. Plus a recruiting update from Richard Davenport, as always, at 8 o'clock. And then KJ Jefferson has some thoughts about his Heisman odds that I think a lot of you will be interested this morning on a Recruiting Thursday.
Hey, off and running on Recruiting Thursday, brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is their number to call while now. Be installed before this weekend. Get a $100 Visa gift card, local installation, free upgrades with a free weekend coming up with voice-activated remotes and more. Call while now. Get the details, 877-305-DISH. Took care of business last night, didn't they?
Yeah, Hog basketball just continuing to get and be on the right track. I mean, there's a lot of good things this morning. They win. You've got the Hunt NIL deal. We got a new chair here in the office. I feel like a new man in
Drew,
this.
mark the date and time here. Thursday, January 27th. We'll see how long it takes him to tear this chair up. So
Do we have a dog in here? It looked like someone chewed the last chair up. I don't know
his
what
name
the
is
deal.
Ty, you know.
What the deal is
Thing was
with
in
that?
pristine condition.
That thing was
I
in
bought that
crappy condition when I got here. I'm just happy that we got a
pristine
new
condition.
It's like we had that chair for like 15 years, but this one, thank you, Candy, for getting this. I feel like a new host this morning.
And we're going to expect you to do a better job then.
I'm just hoping I don't fall out of this chair because I have flipped. You were in the office. I forgot what we were talking about that one time, but I like to. I don't lean back in this chair because it's a tall chair, but I thought it was a good idea to lean back in one of the other chairs and take a spill.
He was making a valid. He was what he thought was a valid point, and pounding his fist on the desk and telling everybody how right he was, and he falls backwards,
just kersplat,
butt over tea kettle in the floor in front of everybody.
Luckily, my head wasn't damaged, just my ego. But hopefully, this
damage to the head was already there.
This thingamajig, yeah, we've seen that punch, taking a punch or two. But I like this chair. I like what I'm seeing from this Arkansas basketball team. I'm excited for Saturday. I was watching the game with some Morning Rush listeners last night, and they all told me, "Well, see you Saturday. I'm going to the game," and they were already planning on it anyway. But as Eric Musselman said last night, Budweiser Arena is going to be pretty rocking.
I think so, and I think this team's giving you a reason to not miss the game. I think the excitement is building. I think Eric Musselman, based on what we were talking about with this, you turn your tickets in, let me give them to students deal. He's been obviously disappointed, but I think there's more to it than just, hey, the team hasn't kind of lived up to billing till the last 5 games or so. I think this COVID. I think there's people paying attention to football. There's more than just one thing. But now we're down to the last 3 NFL games. Get 2 this weekend and the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. And really after this weekend, the focus will shift to college basketball because you got that gap till the Super Bowl.
That's a good point.
College football's over. All the distractions are out of the way. So now February we're right on the doorstep coming up. You start kind of focusing in. You start figuring out. I think people have focused on the Razorbacks, but now you kind of figure out, this Kessler guy over at Auburn. Now, oh man, Auburn is good. And you start, what's wrong with Florida? And you start going through all these thoughts as an observer from afar. I think that's where fans are at right now. And this is a one-off game in this Big 12 challenge. How often is West Virginia going to come to? How often is Huggy Bear going to come to your arena? So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I think it should converge on a large crowd. I don't expect 19,000 there, but I think it'll be very similar to what we saw against Texas A&M.
Jimmy texts in and says, let's go, Hogs win again. Yeah, a lot of happy Razorback fans this morning. And it wasn't the prettiest game you've ever seen, but you got it done. Now,
that was a terrible first 10 minutes, just to watch.
They couldn't, neither team could
It's like 13-12, 10 minutes into the game. I mean, it's just,
On this day back in, I think it was 1911. Let me double check real quick. On this day back in 1894, the first college basketball game was played at University of Chicago, beat Chicago YMCA. Do you know what the final score was then?
Probably 13-12.
1911.
Yeah. Clay said it was, very good defense. Clay was at the game. Talked to the coaches when it was, no, I'm kidding. A lot of pressing, Clay said in that game.
He was back in there.
Said the refs were horrible.
I wonder what Clay thought about the camo uniforms that they kind of wore last night.
I think if you hadn't pointed it out, because it's kind of like in the trim, the red. I mean, I don't think, I know we put it in our notes for today. To me, it wasn't that big a deal. You debuted something new and different on the road. So that's kind of, I guess, is that weird or unique? I mean, if you're going to debut something new, you kind of think it'd be at home, right? But, I mean, if you hadn't pointed it out, I mean, you kind of need to zoom in. I think it was a very subtle addition. So
I think if the marketing department decides to do a whiteout against Auburn, that the team should also wear white, just all white. I think that, and with a red trim, obviously, and red insignia and red Razorback. What they normally wear is
all white at home. The team.
It's a new uniform.
Oh, okay.
If you're talking, we were just talking about uniforms.
Right. I mean, don't they normally wear white at home?
New uniform.
All right. With less trim, all white, like white, other than the numbers. I guess, is that what you're saying?
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
I mean, we're talking about new uniforms. That's what they should do for that. Right, it is weird how football teams wear colors at home and then white on the road, and it's flipped in basketball, right? Is that odd to you?
Well, I mean, last night, by rule in a lot of unless you agree to it with your opponent, the home team will wear the lighter color or white.
Yeah.
So
that's odd to me though that it's flipped in football.
Football, it's the darker color unless you have, because obviously the Cowboys, LSU, you think of a handful that because the Cowboys did that years ago where they wore white at home and white on the road because they wanted to look the same on TV every time.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they did that years ago, and you just got to let your opponent know. But it's rare that the home team will wear the darker color. But
what's the reasoning behind that for doing the opposite?
Well, that way you get there, you don't have two teams wearing the same color.
Well, no, I'm talking about why is it different in football and basketball?
Oh, I can't tell you that, but
I would think that they would want to sync it up all. But
who's they?
Technically, football's the only one that wears dark colors at home. I mean, it all goes back to baseball and the home whites, and the reason why you get the home whites versus the road grays is because they weren't allowed to or didn't have the option to wash jerseys and pants and stuff when they went on road games, and through 3 games their jerseys would get dirty and they'd start to look gray, and the home team was obviously able to wash their clothes. So that's how you get home whites. And football is the only sport that doesn't use home whites.
Yeah, that's what I was
saying. And if you think about it, back in the early days of televising sporting events, it's been black and white TV, right? So you want to make it a little easier to figure out what team was what when you didn't, there was a day where you didn't have the graphic bug on the screen, the whole time. So if you watch some of them older ones. Hey, if you missed our conversation yesterday, it's a really good one with Brett Good. We talked a lot of things, including Aaron Rodgers and the NFL playoffs this weekend and about the Razorbacks and what's going on with recruiting right now. Check that out in our Bud Light Next Morning Rush podcast. You can also call Brett about insurance needs for your company, whether it's group life, group health benefits, or maybe you need personal insurance for yourself or homeowner's insurance to go with your car or commercial insurance for your business. He can handle all of those things, including your group benefits at work. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292 for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips.
The Hunts have gotten involved with Arkansas NIL. I want to kind of explain that treetop and next. Stay with us right here on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the
here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
Down prices.
You better hurry before they catch me.
Frankroll Furniture is family owned, has in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frankroll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas.
Let's eat the mouse.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer. Pours like every other seltzer. But it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal. So you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In, Miss Anna's on Towson, and the Airedale Diner in Alma. I'm not saying that I'm older than dirt, but I've been around for a day or two, and I have to admit the last 2 years are unlike anything I've ever seen. Our chicken supplier's out of chicken, our fish supplier's out of fish, and our ketchup supplier's out of ketchup. Really? And don't get me started about the toilet paper thing. To be honest, I'm just grateful that we survived. And that's in no small part because of you. We know there is no us without you. You remembered to shop small and shop local, and you remembered when you shop local, your money stays in your town. You gave us the ability to stay afloat during some pretty trying times. And for that, we're very grateful. So on behalf of myself, my family, and our great staffs, we'd like to simply say thank you. And thank you for continuing to let me say Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
In the lane, kicks to the corner, waves the open shooter, and Trey knocks down the three.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So a lot of people have questions about the AAC, the Athlete Advocate Consortium. Did I say that right? With Hunt?
I think that's right.
Okay, that's correct. I always love to say, what's the acronym stand for this or something else? Wrong answers only, and then people just start throwing random things out. But we're going to tell you about that coming up because I think this was the first kind of big movement with Arkansas and this NIL stuff. I know Stevens has gotten involved through insurance with Bumper Pool, but I think this needs to be brought up this morning just to explain.
This is a little different.
We've had a lot of questions about this, and we're going to be able to explain it best you can.
All right, let me first tell you about in-ground pools at Burton Pools and Spas. Great way to celebrate your family and celebrate summer and to do it for years to come was with a fiberglass in-ground pool. A few more days to cash in on the $5,000 rebate that they have right now on fiberglass in-ground pools. They've only got a handful of these left, and you can play in your pool, play in your backyard, and know exactly what the pool, the depth, everything's going to look like with a fiberglass in-ground pool and never battle or worry about a vinyl liner or any of those issues. It's a great way to go, and it's an extra $5,000 off right now when you call Burton Pools and Spas. This deal is good in Springdale, also in Fort Smith, but when the month is over and this deal is gone, unless the manufacturer renews, it is over. So don't miss out on an extra $5,000. Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
So I got a call about this on Tuesday night, and I was told to kind of keep it under wraps till Wednesday. The treetop explanation that we're going to try and explain it to this morning. Tommy, you might be better of explaining it because when it comes to technical and fiscal and stuff like this, I feel like you're a better teacher and explainer than I am. But really cool website that they have set up. Again, JD Note is the athlete that they have sponsored right now. I thought it was a brilliant move on part of the Hunts, and for Arkansas to keep this under wraps for as long as they have. I mean, you've heard whispers and rumors here and there, but it was nothing substantial to this point. I thought it was a fantastic rollout for them yesterday.
Well, we've had, calls. We've had people on this air have clamored and said that the Waltons, the Tysons, the Hunts have to step up and spend this money to get athletes to come to Arkansas and to stay at Arkansas. This is the first time we're really seeing one of these families get directly involved with NIL and name, image, likeness. And we'll see what, the Walton family, who are very conservative from a fiscal and business standpoint, whether they get involved, whether the Tysons, who have been great supporters, and all have been supporters of the university. We gotta separate this. This is the Hunt family, not J.B. Hunt. So that's a distinct line of demarcation you want to draw. I know it's easy to say, well, this is J.B. Hunt. No, this is the Hunt family getting involved with this consortium here to basically organize and create a way for athletes to get money for name, image, likeness, but also have some community give back. And this is the way they have set their organization up. And we're going to learn more about it as it goes on. And you mentioned J.D. Note is the first. That doesn't mean J.D. Note is going to be running around with a J.B. Hunt shirt on, standing in front of a big rig trying to get new drivers for him.
You're telling me he's not going to be the next driver that delivers?
Well, I did see someone had photoshopped him into like a recruiting ad or something. Instead of J.B. Hunt, it said J.D. Hunt. Which I thought was pretty
did you see
creative.
Did you see little Tim McGuire put KJ Jefferson on a JB truck driver and said "giddy up" or something like that? So they had a bunch.
He can deliver. I mean, they can both deliver. So, there you go. There's your free tagline, guys. You can go ahead and we deliver. But this is the first. What I hope to be the first step where we'll see a few more of these. Now, what would be awesome, I think, is if you had one of these organizations, but the Walton family, the Tyson family, and the Hunt family all kind of threw in together and made one big grand organization that, who's going to beat that? A&M could throw around $30 million all they want. If these families chose to get into this, and I don't suspect they're going to get into it that deep, they could make the $30 million at A&M look very small very quick. But keep in mind, this is not these companies. These are the principals, the families, shareholders. These are public companies that we're talking about here. They're not going to get directly involved. But these families, at least the Hunt family, initially has.
Mm-hmm. And what I think is great about this movement, and you just brought it up, is not only is it showcasing a tremendous Arkansas athlete, J.D. Notu, who had 25 points last night, but
it's already working, see?
Yeah, it's also doing community impact, which Arkansans, I think everyone can attest that Arkansans like to help out each other. So when they see JD being involved, and I got to double check again I think it's Samaritan's Purse, if I remember that correctly, what he's directly involved. And the reason that's a big deal to him is because he, at one point in time, it was tough for them to put food on the table. I got to go back and double check on this, but this is personal for him.
Right. So I don't remember the name, but he's involved in Samaritan wasn't the name of the charity.
Samaritan Community Center. And JD grew up in a family that struggled to put dinner on the table from time to time. So this issue is close to his heart. So not only, again, you've got the aspect of you're supporting an Arkansas athlete, but Arkansans are seeing it as, well, JD's really helping us impact Northwest Arkansas with this. It is a backdoor way of not only the Hunts using their own, but the revenue that some of them have earned from the JB Hunt money, but they can't directly pull from that.
But here's what I see that can really, this is a nonprofit.
Correct.
So you or I or Drew or anyone listening, hey, I want to do my part. I can't do millions, but I could do tens. I could donate $50, $100, whatever, $20. The mountain. Well, now you could. Here's what I see from the outside. You could now donate to this AAC that they could use this money to, in part, help NIL. But there is no expected return on the investment from those that put the money in. In large part, the athlete's going to be helping and serving to other nonprofits and organizations in need. Is a big part of the mission of this. So, if a local business out here, if the Morning Rush decides that we're going to sponsor Jalen Williams tomorrow, well, we expect some return on our investment, with doing ads for us is going to bring more customers, more listeners, whatever. I mean, if a restaurant has someone on or a car dealership, they want that return on the money they've invested with an athlete to reap them more business. The way this kind of set up, there's less of an expectation, it appears to me, from the outside world on where's my ROI. No one's really looking around saying, man, this thing ain't working. I've spent $10,000 and I'm not getting any new leads. Well, that's not really how this deal is going to be measured at all.
It's more of a community service impact.
As a nonprofit, you could donate, whatever's comfortable, $50, $100, $20, whatever it is, $1,000. Hey, somebody wants to get involved, but they want to be anonymous. They donate $15,000 to this deal.
And it's, what the best part about it is?
Tax deductible.
Tax write-off, like you just said. That's what Robin Newblame beans up, and that's a big deal for a lot of people when it comes to stuff like this.
All right, we'll talk more about it as the morning rolls on. Hardworking, simplicity, and serious durability. That's what a winning combination is you're going to find with a pair of rugged tractors with a Duramax heavy disc mower from New Holland and Williams Tractor in Fayetteville and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas. You can maximize the tonnage of your hay fields by slicing a clean, close swath up to 10 feet wide. So find out about the operating costs, the operating savings, and the Workmaster from New Holland right now at Williams Tractor. They're in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers.
When we come back, talking more Arkansas basketball, their victory over Ole Miss puts them at 5 straight wins with the Mountaineers coming in Saturday.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is former Razorback Jake Beckett, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Start 2022 with a splash from Burton Pools and Spas. Save up to $5,000 on a fiberglass in-ground pool. This is a limited time offer from Burton Pools and Spas. Only the first 15 customers will save $5,000 off a new in-ground fiberglass pool. Invest in your family and the backyard of your dreams at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley and eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
For a limited time, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is serving up some great combo platters with all your favorite choices from Art's. Ribs and brisket, catfish and brisket, pulled pork and brisket, plus catfish and ribs. And you can add a hot link, sausage, or 2 tamales to any of the combo platters. Make your combo plate any way you want it to be. And don't forget, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Real smoked barbecue.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Left side, Wade in the corner, ball fake, steps inside, kicks it out. Jalen Williams for three, and it's good.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
So Arkansas basketball picks up another victory, 64-55 in the Pavilion. I saw a couple Arkansas fans down there. Tommy, I got a text last night. Apparently the atmosphere was dead, and I don't know if you listened to it.
No, I watched on TV and at tip-off. Now, it's an early game. We see the same thing at Arkansas. There was nobody. When they went out of Feinbaum into that on television, I'm like, sparse was not even the right word. Sparse would have been an improvement. Terrible.
It was not a good atmosphere. If you were an Ole Miss fan,
it filled in, and then the students, which are seated mid-court opposite the benches, that filled in. But that building does not have the atmosphere that others in the SEC.
No, it's
Some
not.
of these newer arenas just don't. Auburn's does right now because they're good, but unless you're good, that's not a big building. What does it seat 12 or something like that?
No, it's like
it's small.
It's like
small.
9. Tell me, hold on. The Pavilion, Ole Miss capacity 9.5. Yeah, I remember my buddy who went there. Was like they got it from the tab at it. It's like, so what are y'all going up to, like 15? He knows, like 9.5.
60. What 68-42? Is that what that says there? On the attendance on the box.
I don't have it in front of me. I just know it has. I can read it for you. Where's that at?
Right, upper right corner
upper
there.
Right. Yeah, 66-42.
66-42. So, I don't know. Kind of like Arkansas's box attendance number. I'm not sure about that either.
If it was even that much.
Yeah.
Maybe those were paid tickets like you were saying. And because the way they're playing this year, Kermit Davis, I don't think their squad has a sold out arena.
There's a reason when you're looking at Arkansas games in basketball, or you're looking at a lot of these SEC games, they don't pan the crowd a lot. They zoom in tight when they're showing crowd shots. So to make it maybe have the appearance of more people there. Hey, later today after the show, we're going to head to Oakland. No race today, unfortunately. We can't stop in and lose some money today, but we can tomorrow. We're going to be there tomorrow. If you're out and about, and I guess you can come by and say hi. We're going to be near the Paddock area and getting ready for a big weekend of racing. The Southwest Stakes are this weekend at Oakland. Also, the Martha Washington Stakes and Ty's favorite, the King Cotton Stakes. That's all coming up this weekend as well for Saturday racing that starts at 12:30. Racing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and plus a President's Day Monday, all through May the 8th at Oakland. If you don't have that Oakland Anywhere app, download the app today for free in the Apple App Store. Use promo code RUSH22. That's RUSH22. Get a $150 sign-on bonus with the Oakland Anywhere app. And we'll be at Oakland tomorrow morning here with the Morning Rush.
Eric Musselman's got something cooking right now. One of those guys that was really performing, we just talked about the NIL deal he got, was J.D. Note. Here's Muss on how he played last night.
He did have 5 assists. We'd like him to continue to work on taking care of the basketball. The 5 turnovers, a little bit much, but obviously when you play someone 37 and a half minutes, you really, really rely on him, not only from an offensive standpoint, but he was the one that was assigned defensively to guard Ruffin.
And I think Ruffin only had a basket in the first half and a basket the second, if I remember that. And Arkansas, it's not like Arkansas exploded offensively, but it takes so much out of your will when an opponent is just clamping you down on defense. And do I think Arkansas is going to be able to do that against Jabari Smith, Walker Kessler, Flanagan, JD? It's not Davidson. I can't think of that guy's last name. Do I think they're going to be able to do that against Auburn? Probably not, but when you play a subpar team like Ole Miss, who just played on Monday night, probably not going to have much offensive success against the Razorbacks.
Well, Arkansas takes a lot of pride. And Chuck asked Muss this question after the game on the post-game show about shutting down their best player. Ruffin's a McDonald's All-American. We just talked about Arkansas's got a couple of those coming in. This isn't like Ruffin's some guy that's just emerged. Great player, 5-star, a lot of expectations, and Arkansas shuts him down to 10 points last night. I don't know what his season average is, but he was 1 for 7 behind the 3-point line, 2 of 11 from the floor, and I think that's when Coach Muss is having his meetings with his staff and they're putting that game plan together. It starts with how do I defend, how do I shut down as a team their best player.
It's the Bill Belichick philosophy.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that more consistently, and he spoke about that after the game, and they did a great job on Ruffin last night. Arkansas's problem last night, and why this game for a while, and they opened it up in the second half, and this was talked about during the game, they couldn't get to the free throw line. And I didn't realize till it was pointed out last night. I knew they did a good job of getting free throw attempts and making free throws. I didn't realize that nationally they were top 3 in those both categories. I think lead the nation in free throws made.
Correct.
They're 3rd in attempts.
Correct.
I knew they were good. I just didn't know nationally that particular category they were top 3 in both and leading the others. So you talk about and I want to go and pull this up before I'll do this in the next break. The percent, because Arkansas scored now, it was 322 going into last night. So last night they scored 8 more. So they got somewhere like 330 points for the season from the free throw line. What is the percentage of your total points scored?
21 or 22.
You already know that, right? So good. So 1 out of 5 points are coming from the free throw line.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is top 25 in college basketball. So, yeah, for Arkansas, and I think that number is probably going to change based on – because until Ole Miss had to foul, they only took 2 until Ole Miss, and then they started fouling. Then Arkansas – by the way, Arkansas down the stretch, they tried to lose the game. They couldn't throw they got to the line. JD's missing. Yeah. Jalen's missing. And I'm sitting there thinking, are they going to blow this game? Because they were trying to give that game to Ole Miss down the stretch. Luckily, they made some, and then Ole Miss. Oh, you could tell, Tommy, Ole Miss did not have anything last night. Their legs were dead. Every shot that they took was short. They couldn't. Arkansas was winning the hustle plays. Just not a great performance. And Kermit Davis
what's their net ranking for Ole Miss? Do you have any idea?
Ole Miss, I can tell you.
I mean, they're 10-10. I just think this is a key game to not lose. I mean, every game is a big game to win, but there are games that are bigger to not lose. And against a now 10-10 Ole Miss team, that just kind of strikes me looking at their record that it's probably in the game you want on your resume is a loss, even on the road. So it was big from that standpoint.
Ole Miss, as of last night, it was 119.
So you don't even get bonus points, so to speak, for winning on the road against a top 75 team. So that makes it a quadrant 3. Because you got to be top 75 as the home team for the road team to get a.
Is it top 125 for a quad 2 on the road?
I just know it's 70. It's top 50 at home. Top 30 at home for the opponent if you're the home team. But if you're on the road, it's a top 75 team, right?
Yeah, for a quad 1.
It
might be 125 for a quad 2. These are so confusing. I don't know why they make it. They feel like they change.
But they're giving you bonus points or credit for winning on the road. You get a little, I guess, leeway in that the ranking. They recognize the difficulty in the ranking of winning on the road. So this is a game last night that helps you, but it's not going to boost your number significantly.
And it is a quad 2 win that you got last night because it was 76-135 on a road game.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm ever going to have those formulas in the back of my head.
They'll change them as soon as you do.
Yeah. But what's kind of odd about this?
Point is, it's a solid road win. It's not a great road win.
Yeah. Eric Musselman, there's been some jokes made at his expense when he told Keith Smart, hey, I'm getting surgery. You're going to be the coach this weekend. They beat Missouri. Then he tells the team, and now they've won 5 straight. So maybe it was him just getting the shoulder stuff, and that's changed.
How good a mood are you in when you're in pain?
I just.
How focused can you be on work when you're in pain?
It's difficult.
Yeah, so I think there's to some degree merit to the idea that things have gotten better since he got his shoulder fixed. Well, I'm not saying he's out of pain, but probably life has been a little more difficult. But at least now there's light at the end of the tunnel on feeling better, not wearing that brace, that you're on the actual road to recovery. So
it's like Razorback Windsor's morphine.
I don't imagine.
His Demerol and his Oxycontin.
Right. I don't imagine you guys would be having a lot of fun if my shoulder was tore apart and I was trying to work and, hey, I'm going to put surgery off till after the season's over, and then I'm going to get it. Till after radio season, I'm gonna put this thing off, and it'd make everybody around here miserable because I'm going to be grumpy and in a bad mood, not feel well. The meetings aren't going to be fun.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, so can you imagine going to work and the boss is in severe pain? How good a mood he's going to be in? Nah. So this has got to have helped and lifted everybody. Just him getting this fixed. Him foremost.
Players probably came together. It's like, well, Muss is going to yell at us even more if we don't start winning because he's even more pain. So we have to start winning just so we don't get And they're probably got there. It's like, guys, where's Demerol? Where's Oxycontin? Where's morphine?
Yeah.
Us winning. If we don't win, he doesn't have any painkillers, so he's just going to be in a lot of pain. So this is his only his only remedy is to win basketball games. That's probably that team. I know that Devo and company had a team meeting. I think I don't remember if it was prior to Hofstra or after Hofstra or whatever it was, but they had another one, and that was the premise of that meeting. But Arkansas, Tommy, only trailed for a minute in this game. It was like a minute 13, a minute 30 or whatever last night, and
minute 12.
They had control. At no point in the game last night did I really feel that Arkansas was going to lose. Now, we've seen at points this season that you felt that same way and then they blew it. But in this 5-game winning streak, it's just that defense that continues to hound the opponent. Now, again, you haven't played the best teams. I don't know. I mean, West Virginia lost to Oklahoma last night. They're, I think, 2-5 in conference play and 2-6, something like that. So it's not a great team that Bob Huggins is bringing in on Saturday. But your real test, and Mississippi State is a good basketball team, not a great basketball team. That'll be a tough one next Saturday. But what you do against Auburn at home Tuesday, February 8th, is really going to kind of open your eyes in one way or another about this basketball team.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Bob Huggins isn't going to bring a soft team into Fayetteville. I mean, you better be ready for a street fight.
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be the prettiest basketball you've ever seen, but they're going to make you earn it. And they're just looking at their record, kind of where they now. The Big 12's tough. You can be the 7th team in that league.
We can make fun of the Big 12 in football. We can't make fun of it in basketball.
Exactly.
It's the best basketball league in the country.
Yeah. So I mean, Arkansas found that out firsthand with Baylor last year. I mean, how good that team is.
Yep.
So, bottom line is you better be ready for a tough and I think physical game. When you square off Saturday with Bob Huggins' team. Arkansas last night made 8 3-point baskets. They were 8 of 18, 44%. I just hope this team doesn't start, 18's an okay number. 8's a great number with 18 attempts, but, you don't need to start firing up a bunch of threes because the way they've been playing lately and driving to the basket to get to the free throw line, that's one reason I think last night FTAs were down. They only had 12 free throw attempts in the game. The more 3-point baskets you take, you're just going to get less free throw attempts. So driving to the hole, getting those attempts at the free throw line, I think are something that's still important to the formula.
Couple texts in this morning. This is Scott on Facebook said, Muss has got a great job changing the approach and realizing that they don't have the same personnel that they played with last year. It's not always pretty, but it always gives them the best chance to win. Roger texted, he says he lives in Northeast Arkansas and his son and him went to the game last night. He said our fan base was strong and the best part was celebrating on the walkout and seeing how opposing fans felt after the game. So I bet Roger and his son definitely enjoyed because Oxford
been on both ends of that deal.
Yeah. Oxford from Jonesboro's what?
Well, Jonesboro to Memphis is what, an hour, Drew? Isn't that about right?
Yeah, it's about an hour to Jonesboro, and then from Memphis to
hour
Oxford,
15.
Hour and 15. So
yeah,
about
two hours.
2:30.
A little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad drive. That I saw a couple Arkansas fans were there attendance. By the way, you brought up the West Virginia game. You excited about the video tribute for Gabe Osaboyan on Saturday? The return of Gabe.
I think aren't you narrating it?
Did
they ask you to do the voice
I got
work?
Asked to, yeah. I got asked to. I don't. It's a lot of pressure.
But you couldn't say Osaboyan right 4 times in a row.
Osaboyan. That was a name that I surprisingly never struggled with when talking about.
That is surprising
with school, but he. Yeah, he's coming back for a return visit to Fayetteville.
Well, can't wait. Hey, today is All-American Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Have you tried their burger?
I have one time.
Pulled pork sandwich.
I haven't had their
good.
pulled pork.
I have not. They do a pulled pork sandwich over there on Thursdays. That's it's got the Mexican flavor, if you will, the Tex-Mex flavor to it. You might try that out. Plus their full menu. Friday is going to be Fajita Friday, and then Saturday you can go there for the game. $1 tacos all day long, and during the Arkansas-West Virginia game, they'll have it on the TV, and you can get half-price apps and taps. There's something going on every day. It's All-American Thursday, Fajita Fridays tomorrow, $1 tacos all day on Saturday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They're on South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina.
Talking about Jonesboro, William in Jonesboro text in. If you heard yesterday, KJ Jefferson, according to Caesars, has Heisman odds of 150-1. He said he wouldn't bet on KJ winning the Heisman next year, but if he decided to come back, he thinks he would have the opportunity to be the front runner for the top 3 candidates next season. I'm curious what kind of season he has, what kind of NFL interest he gets the following year. But again, we're going to Oakland tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I can make a future bet on this, I'm assuming Oakland has that, I might drop a 20 to win 150 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know that math in your head? I think we did this yesterday.
Be $30,000, wouldn't it?
Is it that much? 20 times 150? Yeah. 3,000?
3,000.
Is that right?
Yeah, it'd be 200.
Okay.
You'd have to bet 200 to get that other. Yeah, so, I mean, listen, is KJ going to win the Heisman next year? No.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to win the Heisman.
I'm going to send
I'd love to be wrong.
I'm going to send him this clip.
A Heisman is more than just an individual award.
Oh,
I mean,
100%. Yep.
And it's not that KJ's not a great quarterback. I just don't think the team's going to win 11 ball games next year. And that's, and oh, by the way, the current Heisman Trophy winner's back in your division too.
Yeah, and you're going to beat him week 5.
Well, and you know what? If you do, those odds will go from 150 to about 30.
I'm telling you, it's a good future bet to take now.
I mean, put 20 on. What are you going to lose? $20? We can afford $20.
Yeah,
but,
as in the company, all expensive. Yeah,
exactly. But the odds, I mean, that's why it's 150 to 1. You're going to have to, for Arkansas to have a quarterback win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, we saw how good Darren McFadden was, and he couldn't win the Heisman Trophy. Who's better player, Darren McFadden or KJ Jefferson?
That would be D-Mac.
Okay, so I mean, I'm just saying this is a very steep uphill climb, and it's fun to talk about. Now, let me double back, and we'll just create our own odds because there aren't odds on this. 150 to 1 to win it. What are the odds of him being in New York though as a finalist? Are they any better? How much better?
I think you're a good chunk better. You have the schedule to do it.
Yeah.
You welcome in Spencer Rattler week 2. You got a ranked opponent week 1. There's going to be we were
you
talking
get a lot of credit for those wins. You got to go beat Alabama. You got to beat Texas A&M.
I got news for you. I genuinely think I don't know what's going to happen in the defensive line in the next couple months, but if they somehow, some way figure that out, if I am confident in the defensive line heading into that game, I'm picking Arkansas to beat Bama.
There's something on your lip there.
Actually?
Yeah.
What are you saying right now? This
right
is going to be
there, right
sarcastic.
there.
Can't tell.
See it? You don't see it? Look in the screen there. It's red. It's got like this red. It looks like Kool-Aid.
Oh, drinking the Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
I was wondering where you're going
You got a little Kool-Aid stain there on your upper lip.
You don't think they're beating Alabama this year?
No.
I'll drink it. If they go, and again, I'm allowed, as every other radio host is, to reassess and rethink about what I'm saying.
Oh, he's hedging. Here we go.
If they win those first 4 games, I'm picking them to beat Alabama. If they win 3 of the first 4 games, I'm probably still going to pick them to beat Alabama, just because I'm going to I'm single-handedly.
If you're wrong, what does it matter? But I mean, you're just wrong. But,
yeah. So you were talking about, you always bring up the 9 wins. So
I think that's the minimum. If you don't have at least 9 in the regular season, I don't think you're in.
Let's roll through these. Bryce Young made the national championship. Devontae Smith won a national championship. Joe Burrow, national championship. Kyler Murray, Final Four. Baker Mayfield, Final Four. Lamar, 9 wins that year.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry.
But Lamar was something special.
Yeah, he was. Derrick Henry, national champion. Marcus Mariota made it all the way to the national championship. Jameis Winston, national champion. Johnny Manziel.
Something special.
Yeah. I think they went 11-2 that year.
And was that was the year they beat Alabama, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
RG3, 9-3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happened twice.
In 20 years.
In the last
15
or 11 years. Yeah. Cam Newton, national champion. Mark Ingram, national champion. Sam Bradford, not a national champion.
Okay.
It could happen. I'm going to be the
9's like the floor, right? If you don't win. So I think at Arkansas and playing in the division with who you're playing with, what's the first thing that has to happen for KJ? I mean, you got to beat Bama, and then Bryce doesn't have a good year. You're never rooting for injuries, but if Alabama's good and they're back in it, and everybody thinks, boy, Alabama's going to be really good next year again.
If you win 9 games,
I think you're going to see history.
If you win 9 games and you beat Bryce Young and Alabama, and that's in it. If you're 9-3, they will.
But that can't be Alabama's only loss.
Yes, it can, because Clemson. Look at this. So think about this. When Lamar won it, Deshaun Watson was also there with him. They lost.
I hate to, but if Arkansas is 9-3 and Alabama's 11-1. I don't like KJ's odds.
They might give it to C.J. Stroud at Ohio State, depending on what he does. There's some other quarterbacks that are going to get.
I'm just saying you're going to have a lot of other guys have seasons that we're not expecting them to have, which would be bad.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to need a lot of help. That's why it's 150-1. It's this isn't 7-2.
Yeah.
This isn't 5-1 here.
No, that's fair. All right, let's keep rolling with our headlines this morning. Mad respect to the Kansas City Chiefs fans who raised over $200,000 for Josh Allen's charity organization. Chiefs fans, Bills fans, I've seen a lot of NFL fans do this. You beat someone in the playoffs, the fans respect you and like you, so they raise money for you.
Feel sorry for you.
That's what I guess Josh Allen got out of the incredible game that we got a chance to watch this past weekend. Chris Mack out at Louisville. This was a wild story. I mean, this was a polarizing hire. People thought it was going to work. Here was Mack on the no animosity, apparently, on the breakup.
It's been built. Obviously, we all want the best for Louisville, and I still do. And that's not going to change. So, it's not really important, like, when and that stuff. What's important is that, like, these guys need to be able to be connected.
Can we not do the interviews? I mean, clearly he's at the loading dock where they're loading all his crap up out of the office.
Saying, get out.
Can we not do the interview somewhere other than, the loading dock at the arena?
Apparently not. Apparently it was
where we can hear what
the actual tarmac is where he got interviewed. But Chris Mack out at Louisville, apparently.
Well, there, and I don't know all the details. He was forced to fire an assistant a year ago. He served a suspension, and it just hadn't went well since that point. And you can say no animosity, no heart. You know what that means? That means he's getting some buyout money. That means we're going to pay you to get on down the road here.
You can't speak bad about the university,
right?
But
we're going to fire you with cause, but we're still going to give you some money. So that's what that sounds like to me there.
I wonder where he lands. It's a notable college basketball coach. I was very surprised. I haven't paid much attention to Louisville, but that is one of the top 15, 20 college basketball programs in the country.
That's a good assessment.
Oh, just the big news in college basketball circuit.
Yep.
All right, it is National Geographic Day, and I was thinking about this. Now, I haven't gotten the chance to explore every single place that I want to, but what is your favorite natural state place in Arkansas? Scenic, rustic, however you want to call it, in the state? And then when you go outside the state, what is the coolest natural place that you've ever been?
I love the Rocky Mountains. I don't know if that's a cool place. That's a big geographic area. So I'll just say west of Denver on I-7. I love going, but it's about snow skiing, but something majestic about the mountains to me. So the Rocky Mountains would be one of them. Southern Missouri, I mean, we're going to go out of state. You go up and hang out and go to Dogwood Canyon and do some of those things that are in and around the Branson area. That is really cool. But Rocky Mountains probably for me would be number. I haven't been to Yellowstone. I hadn't been to some of those, great wonders of the world. But that would be it. In-state, Petit Jean Mountain would be hard to beat. I mean, that hike down to the waterfall, pretty cool.
It's pretty. I would. I actually got a chance when I was young got not a vacation, but we had a school trip out there, and it was pretty special. Mount Magazine School. I'm just a sucker for Lake Ouachita. Lake Ouachita to me.
Mount Magazine's less than an hour from where I'm sitting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 46 years old, and I've never been on top of Mount Magazine.
It's pretty cool. So I've been there.
I need to go. I mean, got a good lodge up there, restaurant. Never been up there.
The landmark that I would say outside of the state, it's sentimental to me because the last vacation with my mom is in Deer Valley in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's more of a sentimental part. But skiing, been to Breckenridge, been to Park City, been to College Park. There's some cool places. Taos, New Mexico. But that is just kind of the sentimental aspect. All right, hour 2 coming up. Let's talk more Arkansas basketball. 64-55 win.
Hello, welcome to Virtual Reality, where absolutely anything is possible. What would you like to do today?
Anything, huh? I think I want to drive the 2022 Toyota Camry. I saw it the other day and it looks super sporty for a sedan.
Sure, here you go.
Wow, V6, 301 horsepower, but it's still such a smooth ride.
Would you like to drive it in the clouds? Again, here, anything is possible.
No, roads are great, thanks. Wow, look at this panoramic moonroof.
I feel like you are not understanding virtual reality. Maybe you would like to ride a dinosaur now, or a unicorn, or a dino unicorn that talks.
Hello, I'm Daryl, the virtual reality dino corn. Take a ride on me.
No thanks, Daryl. I'm good with the Camry.
Oh,
Make the 2022 Toyota Camry an actual reality by visiting your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Attention residents of Cedarville, Natural Dam, and Uniontown. If you're suffering from slow, terrible internet service, Wave Rural Connect is bringing fast internet to you. The Cedarville zone will be opening up February 3rd, and it is time to pre-register at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372 for fast fiber internet, television, and phone. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. I'm so excited to be starting our 30th year of helping folks drive better in the River Valley. With tens of thousands of vehicles sold, we've learned a few things about what our customers want when they're buying a nicer, newer car, and what kind of service they expect after the sale. That's why we have a non-commissioned sales staff, Rath Road Ready Used Cars, and one of the top Meineke car care centers in the nation. But we understand you still want to save money when you buy. That's why this month you can save up to $3,800 below retail on the biggest inventory of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in over 2 years. Plus, with used cars still hard to find, we're giving up to $2,100 above fair value for your trade-in. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. What a great time to save and start driving better today with Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work, real work, working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Your #1 dealer for Kawasaki is Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler Power Sports was voted the #1 dealership in the River Valley. With great brands like Kawasaki at competitive prices, you can never go wrong. Check them out at WheelerPowersports.com or check them out on Facebook. Wheeler Power Sports is open from Tuesday to Friday from 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 479-226-8724 for all your Kawasaki needs. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the sunshine. Our high this afternoon, upper 40s to near 50. Decrease in the clouds tonight. Overnight low 20s north, upper 20s south. Friday, back to sunshine. Our high in the upper 30s north, mid 40s south. And then sunshine back in place for Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shed. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place.
The Razorbacks have beaten Ole Miss for the 10th time in the last 13 meetings. They win for the 10th time in Oxford, Mississippi, the 3rd time in the last 4 trips. And how about the Razorbacks, who have won 5 straight in the SEC, 64-55, our final score. Hogs head home with a W.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It's
All right, kicking off hour number 2 of the Morning Rush on a recruiting Thursday with a little basketball talk. 64-55 win over Ole Miss. Brandon Paris texted. He says he really likes the way that Trey Wade plays. He's not a superstar, but he does so many little things for this basketball team. Trey was perfect from the field last night, including 2 triples. So being inserted in the starting lineup has really helped this team. And on a 5-game winning streak, you really hope this thing can get up to 8 before Auburn comes in the house for what I'm hoping is a wideout come February the 8th.
Yeah, it should be too bad that game's on a Tuesday night, not a Saturday. But I think Arkansas will have a big crowd there, even though that's a Tuesday night. You got high school basketball going on. You got a lot of things that still occur. But when number one, and I hope they're number one when they come in, here comes in, that's going to draw a lot of attention. Hey, one thing that also draws a lot of attention, that's the HitThatLine.com podcast network, brought to you by Breeden RV. You can go there and find a variety of podcasts, including Coffee with Counsel. Kevin Hickey and Brad Hall go through a variety of topics. There's now 11 different podcast episodes up. They're timeless because if you're needing, like this last one is on custody issues and custody. If you're needing some help with that, you can get some free legal advice. Plus, they're going to talk about John Madden. They talk about sports. Maybe even slip in a cooking story or two across the different episodes because Kevin loves to cook some gourmet meals. So check all of that out. The Hickey and Hall Law Partners podcast. It's Coffee with Counsel. You can find it online at the podcast network here with HitThatLine.com. Then call Brad or Kevin at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley. They have an office in Northwest Arkansas, 802-6560. Or their numbers, details about both these guys are online at artriallawyers.com. That's artriallawyers.com.
Ole Miss shot 35% from the floor, 22% from 3. And that's been the MO of this basketball team as of late. Is defensively, that's where they have just made some money. First time ever, like Haywood said this last night on the post-game press conference, that Arkansas has held back-to-back SEC road opponents to shooting under 40%. Shot at the end of the second half was pretty big that JD got going. There's just a lot of things that went. I think he went up 7 in the first half when he hit that shot. I think you were up 4 and he ended up going up 7. So a lot of things that just went right for you last night. I just didn't ever feel that Arkansas was going to lose this game, to be honest.
First 10 minutes, though, was just ugly basketball.
It was,
I mean, both ways. Neither team shooting well. It wasn't like it was great defense. It was just bad basketball for about 8 or 10 minutes to start the game. Then Arkansas finally got rolling. They held a 7-point halftime lead, and pretty well stuffed them in the second half. And then at the end, what was a 16-point lead with under 5 minutes to play, ends up being a 64-55 win. So Arkansas may have took their foot off the gas a little bit in the last few minutes of the game, but Arkansas couldn't get to the free throw line. We were talking in the last hour, they're third in the country in free throw attempts, number 1 in the country in free throws made. What'd you say, 21% of their points come from the free throw line as a team right now? They were 8 of 12 last night, which the percentage you like to be higher, but 8 of 12 isn't bad when you only miss 4. But the 12 is the problem. And Arkansas shot more threes last night than they have been, 18 three-point attempts. They made 8 of them, which is good. But that also led to fewer free throw attempts because they weren't going to the hole and going inside where they've kind of made their money, so to speak, this year.
Eric Musselman seems to have found something clicking with this current lineup. The starting lineup of J.D. Note at the 1, Adisi Tony at the 2. He's got Stanley Amude playing the 3, Trey Wade at the 4, and Jalen Williams at the 5. Andy Mountain Home texts in that Jalen Williams is the MVP of this team. I would not disagree with you there. J.D. might be the best player, but I think that Jalen Williams is the most valuable.
Yeah.
What I've said, the season's over if he's injured. It's done. Yeah. You're not winning.
There's no replacing him.
You just don't have a big man. Connor just hasn't been that for you this year, and you would lose too much size and too much rebounding if Jalen went out.
Moody can't step into that role fully.
He can't. It's just not the
24 charges he's taken now. I believe is the number after last night.
2 last night.
Okay, so there's 25 then. So I mean, all the little things he does, but at the same time, any given night, it could be JD that gets you 25, like we saw. It could be a Moody that goes off. So it's not just on Jalen to do it all, but he's the only one on the defensive end that's going to do what he does. He had 19 the other night, but he's not – when he scores double digits and does everything else he does, I mean, we know about the double-doubles, but there's a difference in getting 10 or 12 and getting 25. There are multiple guys that can score it for you. And JD's, I think, one of your leaders there, but nobody can replace what Jalen does defensively for this team.
Nope. Here's Eric Musselman on the current lineup he has and what he likes about it.
If you can just follow the game plan, and if it doesn't work, then it's on us. But I thought we went off track a little bit too much earlier in the year, and some of those games we won. And I think, sometimes losing can grasp the attention of your players, and I think that happened. And then as a staff, we kept tinkering, and I don't think at any point in the off season did we think that this would be our starting lineup. But it is the best lineup right now for us and how we want to play and how we have gotten off to fairly good starts, and they complement each other.
One of the things you respect about Eric Musselman is he seemed to adapt based on his personnel. He did it the first year with Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe. Mason really became the alpha of that team. Second year had a lot more talent. You saw that team transition from a decent team to a really good to really great team at the end of the year. And now you're hoping this team can take that next step. Each of these teams have had its own identity. This one resides in defense.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Are we done tinkering with the rotation? Done? I mean, barring an injury, I'm not so sure that there won't be some more subtleties. But I think they're kind of settled in. But that's the thing; they're always looking to change it. He talked about the game plan and following the game plan. You got any doubt that this staff does so much work in advance of opponents? I'm sure they've been working on West Virginia with the other staff to get it ready. I have no doubt that the game plan is rarely going to be the problem with why Arkansas comes up short in the game.
Yeah, I know most of the players like to say that as well. I think this upcoming game against the Mountaineers and Bob Huggins, who's one of the best coaches in college basketball history, a Saturday 1:00 game. What's better? Is it a 7:30 game like you had against Texas A&M, or is it 1:00? Because afternoon games and early games give you a chance to do something at night, right? And it's not too
3
early.
3 o'clock's perfect.
You think 3 o'clock's the best?
Well, here's the thing about 3 o'clock. If you're coming from Little Rock, you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn to get there.
Good point. Okay.
You still got time at 3. You can double dip. 3's perfect. Here's why. Get there, get in town, go to Dixon, go to Sassy's, go to JJ, go somewhere you like going for lunch, and then you can pick you out a nice spot on Dixon Street or somewhere for dinner after the game. So 3's perfect because you can enjoy some shopping. You can do some things in the morning. If you got to travel from Central Arkansas, you got time. And then even when the game's over at 5 o'clock, 5:30, you're on the road. It's not, even if you're driving back to Little Rock, it's not terribly late to get home.
9,
so
yeah.
I think 3's perfect. But they don't let me set the game times. But they would. We play a lot of games at Saturday at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Get the 2:30 SEC, CBS slot every football game.
Absolutely. Hey, one other good thing is, if they're at 3, you can go and have a great brunch at River City Bistro to start your Saturday or your Sunday. They brunch it up every weekend, starting at 10 a.m. Eggs any way you like it. Omelets made to order. Their waffles are like the way you want your steaks, about 2 inches thick. They got those big, thick Belgian waffles. Get them put some strawberries on there for you. Great breads that you'd expect at River City. Plus the full menu's available if someone's ready for a burger. Or I had a Reuben sandwich last night from there and their corn chowder. It's, it's cold outside. I had some corn chowder. It's great. So full menu available as well, plus brunch on the weekends. You'll love it at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue, right inside the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
I want to talk about the NIL deal that the Hunts released yesterday publicly and just kind of explain it a little more. Treetop it next on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Ty, fortunately, has saved the world and not yet procreated.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Ashley Air is up here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
BetOnline has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.
GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Frank Row Furniture is having a New Year's sale the whole month of January. Even little Marley has been running around the store marking down prices.
You better hurry before they catch me.
Frank Row Furniture is family owned, has in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Row Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas.
Let's eat in the house.
We will make your life easier. Jody'sAuto.com will pick up your vehicle at your office or home or wherever. Take it to one of our 3 locations in Van Buren and Fort Smith. Perform any service your vehicle will ever need and deliver your vehicle back to you. Hi, Kim Bircher with Jody'sAuto.com. No missing work. No finding a sitter. No sitting in a waiting room. No wasting your precious time that you don't have. Many of our customers tell us, you're saving me money. Pickup and delivery, it's free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. With our 3 oil change specials, you're going to find adding $10 will mean nothing. And we always have free shuttle service. You bring your vehicle to us and we will take you and pick you up in our vehicle. Honesty and customer service is always our #1 goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com, JODYSauto.com.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Williams throws over it to Wade. Wade's going to try a three from the right wing, and he buried it.
Have you listened to Trusting the Process on the Hit That Line podcast network yet? Check it out on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, let's talk about this NIL deal with the Hunt family. I want to make a clear distinction. This is not a J.B. Hunt NIL deal. This is a deal from some members of the Hunt family. And again, this is I think they almost cleared $10 billion in revenue this last year, if I remember seeing that right.
It's 20.
Maybe it was 20? Is it that much?
Yeah, they're big. They're big.
Yeah.
Talking about J.B. Hunt, right?
Yes, correct. So this is a big deal. Fortune 500 company, one of the biggest companies, one of the biggest impactors in all of Arkansas. And again, I'm personally going to say thank you to Hunt family because it's always, and I've learned this from you, and I'll give you this. You haven't taught me much, but you have taught me this. That it's
I'll
easy
just
to.
leave. Since you know it all already, I'll just leave.
It's easy. That doesn't sound like me. It's easy to spend someone else's money. So when something like this happens, I, for one, am going to thank the Hunt family for contributing to Arkansas athletics, as so many others have done.
Because when did they pass the state? Did the state legislator or did the governor just sign it in the? When did they pass the law that all these wealthy billionaires in Northwest Arkansas had to give their money for NIL? Is that a federal mandate now?
I thought they said.
Because I don't believe they're required by law to do this. They're, the Hunt family, who is given back in many, many ways. And let's just talk about athletics. Let's just look out in right field real quick, and you can see evidence of that there. There's other buildings on campus named after them, but there's many other things in Northwest Arkansas that have nothing to do with the Razorbacks they've donated to as well. We'll come back to this in just a second. First, want to remind you the Fence Man, who will be in here tomorrow with us. We'll be at Oaklawn, but the Fence Man will be here in studio with Drew. Drew will keep him company. Is looking for help. They need more people to join their team. They've got more projects coming up than they can handle with the current team they have in a timely manner. So if you got fence building experience, you got carpentry skills, or you want to learn how to do it, go by and apply in person with the Fence Man, 1213 North 32nd Street. Top pay, and they'll take care of you with plenty of work. You won't have to worry about, man, do they have enough work over there to keep me busy? Not a problem. So they need you to come by and talk to them if you're interested in building fence and making some good money doing it. The Fence Man can help you. I had some gates put in. They finalized a bunch of that this week. I hadn't been home during the daylight to go out and look at it, but what I saw the other day when they were putting them in, it looks awesome. So I'm telling you, they do great work. They need people to do great work. The Fence Man, 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. They ain't afraid of no work.
We're going to first welcome in Charlie in Camden. He's got some thoughts on this Arkansas basketball team performance from last night. Go ahead, Charlie.
Listen, fans are so irritating to me sometimes, and after the 0-3 start, you saw people jumping right off the bandwagon, and as usual, and did the same thing last year. And it just seems to me you got to give, Muster's teams time and for them to figure out their identity. And this team, after that 0-3 start in conference play, they looked back at all their plus-minus sheets and all that, and they decided to put the best lineup on the floor that they felt like could help them defensively and rebound the best. And, it's worked. And I get people, there was a guy I was arguing with on Facebook last night. He was arguing about the fact that our bench is struggling and we're not scoring off the bench. And I said, bro, it's not like we expected Chris Likes to be that guy, but he just has been a disappointment. So it's not like we haven't tried to find guys and play different guys and, different lineups, different rotations. It's not like they haven't tried. So, and that's what I was trying to explain to him. And Muss doesn't normally go deep into his bench anyways, but, last year you say, well, JD came off the bench, but he basically played starter minutes. And so if you look at last year's team, you can't necessarily say, well, they were just the deepest group in the world. JD basically played starter minutes. And, I think they had a couple other guys. Now, I think Kamani Johnson, I really do think he will help this team as the season goes along. Once he gets his health back and things of that nature, he's going to help this team. So, and give Jalen some breathers. But I'm really one time this year I will be rooting for the SEC is this weekend. It's really disrespectful to me when I look at all the teams in this league, and we're like third place in the SEC right now, and they're saying we're the last four in, and then you got like 8 Big 12 teams that are supposedly kind of penciled in already. So I am rooting for the SEC this weekend in this challenge. I hope we kick some Big 12 butt, and I still think we're a little bit disrespected by the committee. You think about us, A&M, Mississippi State. I mean, this is a good league, and I still think at times we're looked at as we're still disrespected just a bit, and I think there should be more teams in that running and in the tournament at this point. This league is just deep, so it is what it is. I appreciate you guys. I'll hang up the list.
Thanks, Charlie. I think so. We make fun of the Big 12 in basketball or football all the time. You can't do that in basketball.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, it's the best team in the league in basketball. So they
actually play defense in the Big 12 in basketball, unlike football.
There are some big-time games this upcoming weekend. Yeah. Everyone knows about Arkansas playing West Virginia. Kentucky's going to Allen Fieldhouse in Kansas. That's going to be a great game. Tennessee's going to Austin.
Are tickets still available for that? Can I go to the box office and get a ticket for that?
I think I paid when I went to Allen. I think I paid $100 for a pretty high up seat. I mean, it's a thing about Allen Fieldhouse.
Can you imagine the cost of what it is? I don't know.
It's probably through the roof.
It's StubHub or whatever for Kentucky, Kansas.
Kentucky versus Kansas. Let's ballpark it. How much do you think tickets are?
Nosebleed,
lowest ticket.
Lowest ticket, $3.25.
$3.25? You think it's that much? Let's find out. Vivid seats. $3.25. $325 for Kentucky and Kansas. There are 2 tickets that I'm showing right now. The lowest being $250. The next one is $500 each, and they're both in the upper deck. And that is Allen Field. Cool venue, but it's people are talking about Bold Watson being old. Allen Fieldhouse is old, like dusty old. So the other games this weekend: Mississippi State at Texas Tech. That'll be a really good game. Missouri at Iowa State. Iowa State's going to beat the brakes off them, I think. Baylor at Alabama, where my parents are going this weekend. Hopefully a divorce doesn't result after that game. West Virginia at Arkansas.
Baylor ought to beat the brakes off them.
I think Alabama lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what this Alabama. They beat Gonzaga this year.
You talk about a team not living up to expectations and hype. That's Alabama in this league.
NATO's Oklahoma State at Florida. Oklahoma at Auburn. Sooners probably going to get destroyed. Kansas State at Ole Miss. Yeah, real bad, real tough. So we'll come back again tomorrow. Talk more about that.
You want and we got to get to Tom here to say Charlie's point about rooting for the SEC. Everybody says there's 2 sides of that argument. Do you root for your conference foes? You do in this case because all the teams you've lost to in SEC play, you want their net ranking. It's all about net rankings and metrics, right? And then the teams you're going to have a chance to beat moving forward, you absolutely don't want their net rankings to fall. So these are critical games from a metric standpoint. So I think it's A-OK to root for the league this weekend because I think it helps Arkansas because of the net ranking situation.
Like you said, one of the few times you root for the league. All right, let's welcome in Tom Murphy into the program this morning. Tom, we've talked about this new Hunt AAC NIL thing. Again, it's not JB Hunt, it's members of the Hunt family. When you saw this news yesterday, what were your thoughts on one of the biggest families, one of the biggest, wealthiest people in all of Arkansas getting involved with Arkansas athletics and NIL?
Well, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I thought it was probably an inevitability that things like this would happen, and hopefully it's a positive in terms of the message they get out. And it looks like working with nonprofits, and good to see that J.D. Note, who is aware, or his family had gone through a tough stretch, that they're helping this Samaritan cause. So I don't know. I think it's a good deal. I think it will help in the NIL program, flagship program that Arkansas has got going, and I'm sure it's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of where this thing is headed.
I wonder if you're a member of the Walton family or you're a member of the Tyson family and you see that, are you going to try and directly get involved with them, or are you going to try and think your own thing? What do you think about, and I know Stevens has something with Bumper Pool, what do you think about some of the other kind of blue blood members of the state, if you will, that when they saw this, what kind of impact do you think on that has on their thinking yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, each of those has to have its own corporate goals, and honestly, with the NIL deal coming out just last July for Arkansas, sometimes it takes corporations a little bit of time to get rolling, and obviously, the way I understand it, it can't be direct corporate stuff. It has to be individual things. So you have to set up separate deals, just like this Hunt thing. It becomes from family members. So I'm sure the wheels are in motion, and we're going to see some more of this stuff as it goes along. But as Tommy and I were talking about on Tuesday, when the Texas A&M deal comes out, and whatever money that got spent, and it sure attracted a huge class. You have to compete somehow. So honestly, I do not know all the ins and outs, what you can, what you can't do, other than the players can profit off their name, image, and likeness.
Yeah. So looking at this deal and the announcement yesterday, I think a couple key things here. It's a nonprofit, which means others can donate. Hey, I want to get involved, but I don't have the wherewithal to form a foundation and create a nonprofit, and I don't want to, I don't know how and don't have that much in, but I'd like to give $20 or $200 or $2,000. It doesn't matter, but to me, you can donate to this. A, it's a nonprofit, but B, Tom, what I'm seeing is they're involved with other nonprofits and helping something like the Samaritan organization here that JD's helping through. The expectation of a return on your investment from the marketing dollars is not quite as high. It's going to be the expectation of the involvement of the athlete with that organization. So I think it also changes the dynamic of, hey, I go put my name on this car dealership or this restaurant or this insurance company or whatever it is. The person that owns that business wants to get new customers out of it. There's a whole different motivation with what I see kind of laid out yesterday.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I think it just raises the awareness for some nonprofits, and that's got to be a good thing, right?
Sure.
So I don't know. I'm anticipating that there's quite the philanthropic motive behind it all, and anytime you can raise awareness that helps nonprofits and organizations that are helping other people, that's a good thing.
I can just tell you this: if A&M has truly raised $30 million. And we don't know all the details on it. Over what time period is that money going to be pledged for? How's that money going to be doled out? We don't know all the inner workings of that. But I can just tell you, if a group of 10 boosters or however many it is that collected that kind of money, they expect something in return for that. You don't give. You're not just giving that. You expect access. You expect some return on that investment in many different ways. You don't give $30 million away collectively and not expect something for it. So we're going to see a lot more. I think a lot more ugliness come out of this deal before it all settles out.
Yeah, we're off to the races. And this is the SEC. So whatever whatever rules can be, used to an advantage in recruiting and what have you, they're going to be used. So here we go. I think we call this the Wild Wild West is starting up, and we're seeing that.
Yeah. Speaking of ugliness, the first 10 minutes of the game last night between Arkansas and Ole Miss was pretty ugly. I think it was like 13-12, 10 minutes into this ball game. Arkansas finally got on track. Tom, they struggled to get to the free throw line. They shot more threes kind of on average than what they've been, but made 8 of them last night. What was your assessment of Arkansas's road win at Ole Miss last night?
My assessment was it's nice to get a win when it just doesn't look very pretty. And I mean, Ole Miss's shooting was just horrendous.
Oh.
And we said for Arkansas basketball to get turned around in this season, it's got to come from the defensive end. They appear to be doing that. It looks to me like they really shortened their bench. They only got scoring from, 5 or 6 guys last night. Amude started, didn't score, and, guys like Chris Likes and some others, like Jackson Robinson didn't play. Connor Vanover didn't play. So it was a really shortened bench, and they just did a good job. They didn't get the ton of offensive rebounds that they're used to. So Kermit Davis, they had a good plan. Keep Arkansas from killing us on the offensive boards, take care of the ball pretty good. They just didn't shoot it very well. And, Note, he's not afraid of missing shots. And he goes and he takes them. And he went 10 of 23, but his 3-pointers were, timely. And, sometimes you just have to have a guy who's just an unconscious type shooter who can give you a streaky performance and help you win games. And if they shoot 10 out of 23, you just deal with it.
Yeah.
Now, his turnovers were a little high yesterday, but, hey, anytime you get a road win at a place where Florida just went in and got beat pretty soundly, that's a good deal. And now they've got their head above water. They've got more road wins than home losses, and they're probably on the right side of the bubble as we wake up this morning. But still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and this for both of you guys here, but this struck me last night when they put this graphic up. Maybe y'all will remember it from the telecast that showed all of the transfer portal players and Chris Likes and Amude, and the point of the graphic was I think it was 4,000 career points in all these places for the transfer portal players that had come in. But what struck me about that, you wonder about Arkansas struggling in the non-conference portion of the schedule, but winning but not impressively, and then starting out of SEC play. I mean, I think we got to be reminded of how the construction and the composition of this roster, Tom. Start with you. I mean, when new guys that haven't played together much or ever are thrown together, I think we don't have a good feel for sometimes how long the chemistry in actual games takes to build. And I think that was a reminder, at least to me last night, when they put that up about all these guys and the different places they've been and played, why maybe we're starting to see this team round into form mid to late January.
Yeah, great point. And that's what we kept complimenting Eric Musselman on last year was being able to assemble the roster, get things rolling. I mean, they started off hot last year, went through the lull when Justin Smith was hurt, and then when he came back, they got it back together and had the big run. So if you trust in what Eric Musselman and his staff do, which is really game plan well, and they feel like they're getting their rotation back to together, and then there's no reason why they can't continue this role.
Tom, before we let you go, we're going to Oaklawn tomorrow, and there are odds right now from Caesars that KJ Jefferson has 151 Heisman odds. Now, he said when he saw this, and he's at the bottom of the list on SEC players, he said, last once again, I thought y'all would have learned by now. So I think he's going to be motivated by seeing that. Would you – I'm going to throw a 20 spot on it if I can do it down there. Is there any rationale for Arkansas fans to legitimately put money on KJ's Heisman odds for this upcoming season? Could you actually see a return on investment on that, or is it just birdie money?
Ty, don't even get me started on what to do with gambling money, okay? I'm just not going to touch it. But I will say this. His odds were behind Zach Calzada, who transferred, who, thankfully for the Razorbacks, they got him in what was his second start, and he just made some bad decisions on whether to run or pass. Some of the passes he made, but his Heisman odds are better than KJ Jefferson. Yeah, he'll be motivated by that, but what does that really translate to? You got to get out on the field, you got to go do it. And so, hey, people, if you want to go gamble on whether KJ Jefferson's going to win the Heisman, that's up to you.
Yeah. Well, your 20 would be better spent on the pass line at Oaklawn.
I don't know what that is.
You're gonna have to come over to the craps table with me tonight, and I'll show you what that is.
You're going to have to teach me. Well, Tom, appreciate it, man. Hey, congrats on Sean Payton being out of your division now. I know that you're happy about that.
You know, I'm no great fan of the Saints, but I have recognized that Sean Payton is a fantastic coach, and him and Drew Brees, my buddy Jeff Duncan, wrote a book about their offense, and I do respect the things Sean Payton has done, and really the game is so intense now that after, you do something 10, 12, 15 years, it wears on you. And so I wish him the best in his health and the rest of his life, man.
He'll look good with that star on his chest in about a year from now. So
that's the talk, right? So,
yeah.
Well, good luck to Sean Payton.
All right.
See y'all.
See you, Tom.
That's what everybody thinks is going to happen. Hey, another big weekend coming up at the Majestic, and I know the Peacemaker is on the way, Ty. People starting to make their plans now to get tickets for the Peacemaker Festival.
Yeah, absolutely. You can check those out at peacemakerfest.com. Drayden Farley is coming in to the Majestic this Saturday night. It's going to be J.R. Carroll, Drayden Farley, and Parker Ryan. January the 29th, 7 o'clock again this Saturday. Doors open at 7 o'clock. And I was telling you about peacemakerfest.com. MajesticFortSmith.com is where you find tickets and information about not just this weekend, but others. I've been to craft beer festivals there. I've been to concerts there. This is an incredible venue that Trent Goins and his team have put together, Steve Clark and everyone else. So, again, if you haven't checked it out, I'd highly encourage you to. Food, alcohol, all of it is there at the Majestic. 817 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Music, mixers, and memories at the Majestic. All right, we had some fun with this topic last hour about National Geographic Day. You told me some of the places you'd like to visit, some of the places you do want to visit. We got a couple of texts in. So the premise of this is it being National Geographic Day, what is the best place inside of Arkansas that you've been to from a landmark and a scenic view, and then also outside of Arkansas? Jamie says the Devil's Tower in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Never been to that. Don't know what that is. My dad's been to Wyoming. He's been to Jackson Hole. The Buffalo River in-state for Chris. Been on that. That's awesome. And
Upper or lower, but either way, it's good.
Yeah, and Yosemite for his out of Arkansas landmark. That's pretty cool. Yellowstone for Brad in Salesville, and the Grand Teton?
Grand Tetons, yeah.
Grand Tetons is pretty hard to beat according to Brad in Salesville.
Let me give you one I've not been to that I think somebody out there agree with, probably been there and can give us a text. The big sequoias, the big redwoods up in Northern California.
Okay.
Never been up there. Buddy of mine, Jody, he said his dad took him there when he was a kid, and he enjoys going there. That's another thing I want to do is go see those huge, massive trees in Northern California, because we've all seen the picture of where you could drive your car through the tunnel in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've seen that picture. I think that'd be another great national treasure to go see.
Hot Dog says the Flat Top Wilderness area in the Pheasantcental National Wildlife in South Arkansas. Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I'd have to.
Okay.
No.
I'm not familiar with that whatsoever. But again, there's some cool places that
sounds like voice texting that didn't quite work.
It didn't go through exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you moved your mic. I thought you were going to say something.
Just getting it ready in case you needed me to jump in on
What
the
was-
topic. I don't know.
What's the place that you like to go to?
Probably in-state, kind of like your sentimental thing. There's a stretch of the White River in Mountain View that we'd always go fishing with my father, grandfather, and brother for over a decade every year. Outside of Arkansas, probably either Lake Tahoe or the Blue Hole in Chattanooga.
Yeah. You say National Geographic Day, I always think about those magazines my grandparents had laying on the coffee
All over the
table.
place, yeah.
When you say that, that's what I think of as a magazine you were thumbing through as a kid. Hey, we're brought you speaking of the White River. You're talking about that. I was up in Mountain Home yesterday. Man, it's just so awesome when you cross the White River there at Cotter and enter into Baxter County, whether it's Baxter County side or Marion County side, but just upriver is Gaston's White River Resort. Cool place to hang out. It's the premier trout fishing place in all of North America. I mean, you're just not going to beat the trout fishing, the guides, the service, how they take care of you, the restaurant, all of it at Gaston's. 870-431-5202. We love going to Gaston's. All three of us have been there. stayed there, fished there. It is awesome. Right now, winter rates are in effect. You get 40% off when you stay 2 or more nights right now at Gaston's. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Coach Houston Nutt, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Start 2022 with a splash from Burton Pools and Spas. Save up to $5,000 on a fiberglass in-ground pool. This is a limited time offer from Burton Pools and Spas. Only the first 15 customers will save $5,000 off a new in-ground fiberglass pool. Invest in your family and the backyard of your dreams at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
At Clay Maxey Auto Group, making the relationship has been what we've always been about. Can't control the market, but we can control who we are and how we act every day. And we're just going to be really good at being us. It's always been more than just selling the cars or servicing them. It's a people business. We're here to take care of the customer. To me, it's important that it's about the relationship, not the transaction. Come visit us today at Clay Maxey Auto Group.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Frank Row Furniture is having a New Year's sale the whole month of January. Even little Marley has been running around the store marking down prices.
You better hurry before they catch me.
Frank Row Furniture is family owned, has in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Row Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas.
Let's see the mouse.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. I'm so excited to be starting our 30th year of helping folks drive better in the River Valley. With tens of thousands of vehicles sold, we've learned a few things about what our customers want when they're buying a nicer, newer car and what kind of service they expect after the sale. That's why we have a non-commissioned sales staff, Rath Road Ready Used Cars, and one of the top Meineke Car Care Centers in the nation. But we understand you still want to save money when you buy. That's why this month you can save up to $3,800 below retail on the biggest inventory of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in over 2 years. Plus, with used cars still hard to find, we're giving up to $2,100 above fair value for your trade-in. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. What a great time to save and start driving better today with Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
For a limited time, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is serving up some great combo platters with all your favorite choices from Art's. Ribs and brisket, catfish and brisket, pulled pork and brisket, plus catfish and ribs. And you can add a hot link, sausage, or 2 tamales to any of the combo platters. Make your combo plate any way you want it to be. And don't forget, every Friday night is all you can eat catfish at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Real smoked barbecue.
Sir,
Superstore. The backyard's under attack. What is it, Johnson? Army worms, sir, and they're tearing everything up. Army worms. Launch a counterattack. Call Tri-Hill. Serving the River Valley since 1986, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest Control are there for all your needs. Just give us a call at 479-782-0404, and we'll put them worms back in the barracks.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, let's get into your Hog Update brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Arkansas gets a victory over Ole Miss last night. 5 straight SEC victories for the Razorbacks. You want to get 6 straight total when West Virginia comes in this weekend. Here's how Eric Musselman feels about what the crowd could be this Saturday night. Tommy.
One thing I know for sure, though, Bud Walton will be rocking on Saturday. That I know.
There's going to be a lot of people in there. And I know West Virginia is not Kansas. They're not Baylor. They're not Texas Tech. They're not a ranked team in the Big 12 right now. But they do have a Hall of Fame coach in Bob Huggins, who you haven't actually fared well against, to be honest, when he was in Cincinnati and stuff. You don't have a great record against Bob Huggins. So that being said, I think there's going to be maybe 18,000 in the house, 1 o'clock game. I think that's
similar to A&M.
I think it's going to be
I just think it's going to be hard to ever get 19-2 cram jams. I mean, I think Elvis is going to have to perform at halftime to get 19,000 there. So, hey, the guys at the pogo sticks, that didn't get it done.
Didn't get enough.
But listen, whether the building's at 18 or 19, it's good enough. I mean, would you like to see a butt in every seat? Absolutely. But that building north of 17,000 is pretty special.
Yeah. But I think the fact that Muss has been pushing this ticket initiative thing is going to help. Will it get to 19-2? Like I say, probably not. The only game they'll have 19-2 for is Kentucky. Bill Raftery, Brad Nessler, CBS, 1 o'clock, February the 26th.
John Calipari is the reason that people. Yeah. I mean, just the Kentucky name. It's the Alabama, Alabama football effect. Kentucky brings them out because you'd rather. There are people right now that would sign up in a heartbeat to lose to Auburn on February 8th to guarantee to win against Kentucky. Yeah. And Kentucky's, 12th in the poll or whatever it is this week. Lost to Kentucky. Beating Kentucky still matters.
It's a big deal. It's a big old
It's a bigger deal to most of our fan base than beating Auburn at number 1 would be.
We asked the same question. Would you rather beat Texas or Texas A&M preseason? I said A&M. A&M was better. They were higher ranked.
Yeah.
But 80%, 90% of our audience said Texas, which I get, but it's
same thing.
Just the same philosophy. Yep. Now, the AAC we were talking about with Tom that members of the Hunt family have got going. They've got a board. They've got a website. I mean, the AAC.net, the Athlete Advocate Consortium. This thing is well set up. They spent some time. I think this was even when the NLL got going in July. They've been working on this. It is really well put together. JD is working with the Samaritan Community Center, which is a local Arkansas nonprofit. It provides food and resources to other families in need. Just a little video on what the AAC is. You can hear it right here.
Our objective is not to take the college athletes and to get them into the professional. That's what their coaches are for. That's what their agents are for. That's what their attorneys are for. What we're here to do is help them build a foundation of who they are and who they're going to be after their college career. The key is for anybody coming out of college, whether they're an athlete or a non-athlete, is that they have the right direction and guidance. And what we're here to help them do is be part of that team that helps them go to the next level, whatever that level is going to be. But that's important for them to decide what they want to do. All we want them to do is be the very best at whatever they do.
So why I thought this was cool that he was partnering up with Samaritans up there is because JD grew up in a family that struggled to put dinner on the table from time to time. Now, I've had friends that have gone through that. I personally have never been in that situation where I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. But I think, again, this is a close-knit issue to his heart, and I found it very intriguing and cool that he's taking up his time to do this and just having an impact not just on the basketball court as he did with 25 points last night, but also in Northwest Arkansas.
What we don't know is, is this putting tens of thousands or a few thousand in these players' pockets? Don't know, may never know on that because, they're not obligated to tell us. Now, I know with nonprofits, certain things do get reported and maybe some of that will come to light, but that's not the point. Point is this going to be impactful enough that you can compete, because that's what this is about, is competing with A&M, competing with Auburn, competing with Alabama, competing with LSU, and everyone else in your division and in your conference when it comes to getting athletes in here, and what can the fan community, the support community, the booster community, all that collectively do for NIL. And we'll see how much of an impact this has. I don't think this is the last of these kind that will come along. I think there are others in the works, and we'll find out about them soon. I think yesterday's announcement of the AAC is the first of a few more to come.
You're hoping it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to all this, if you're an Arkansas football fan, basketball fan, baseball fan, or whatever. Bumper Pool, according to Pro Football Focus, is the 7th best returning linebacker this upcoming season. Not surprised to see him there. Saw that Mason Jones was 2nd in the G League right now in averaging points. I think he's averaging like 29 points a game for Los Angeles Lakers G League team, so he's doing work out there. That's going to do it for your Hog Update. It is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Now, I haven't done a television commercial since my old THV days in Little Rock, where my dad, my mom, and I don't know if my brother was in it or not. We did a meatloaf promo for Craig O'Neill and THV back in the day.
Not the singer, the actual entree?
Yeah, the actual entree. Meatloaf again, and because my mom and dad kept bringing it out, and you see this young, dashing, blonde-haired. Yeah, what's the stallion? What's the difference? What's a mare? Is it a mare? Yeah, a mare back in the just had great
comes
hair.
out the backside of the mare.
And he's got his fork and knife for his meatloaf. That's the last time I've been in a television commercial.
How old were you then?
Like 4? I was a youngin'. Did one yesterday, and why they decided it was a good idea to put this face on television, I had no idea. But I feel like I've watched some Harry Robinson commercials with you, so I picked up some tricks to the trade. But there are now 2 members here at ESPN Arkansas, not only with our Pig Trail Nation partnership, but
we'll see if you make the final edit. We'll see how that goes.
It was
I haven't edited it yet. We'll see how you do in the final edit.
And no surprise, it involved beer. Our friends over at Sodies, Scott Clark and his team decided it was a good idea to market.
I don't
this
think they
face
decided
with
it's
their
a good
product.
idea. You work cheap.
Happened to be there at the same time. So we're going to see how that turns out. I'm going to get a text or two from my friend. I was like, this commercial's awful. Why did they go with this?
If they sell less beer, you're out.
And I'm getting nicks. They're going to be like, we want our money back that we paid you for this. But
they actually paid you?
Yeah.
I told them you'd do it for free beer. So
I would have done it for free beer, but I already sent them, what's it called when you send someone something? Not an expose, but not time card. What's the other thing called?
An invoice?
Invoice. That's what I'm looking for. An invoice.
Business savant, folks.
One step at a time.
I got you. So, hey, get by Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's All-American Thursday today. They got the burgers and they got the pulled pork sandwich, which has a great Tex-Mex twist to it. You can try that on All-American Thursday. Tomorrow will be Fajita Fridays. Then Saturday, we talk about this game. You can watch it there at 1 o'clock. Half-price apps and taps. Then all day long at Joe's on Saturday, it's Dollar Tacos. The crunchy beef and chicken tacos are just $1 each. So you can graze on those throughout the Arkansas game as well. Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith.
JT Hot Springs texting. He says apparently a gelding is a male horse that has the male part. Gelding?
God almighty.
Gelding? It's a male part clipped off.
Help me,
Hello.
folks.
Welcome to Virtual Reality, where absolutely anything is possible. What would you like to do today?
Anything, huh? I think I want to drive the 2022 Toyota Camry. I saw it the other day, and it looks super sporty for a sedan.
Sure. Here you go.
Wow, V6, 301 horsepower, but it's still such a smooth ride.
Would you like to drive it in the clouds? Again, here, anything is possible.
No, roads are great, thanks. Wow, look at this panoramic moonroof.
I feel like you are not understanding virtual reality. Maybe you would like to ride a dinosaur now, or a unicorn, or a dino unicorn that talks.
Hello, I'm Daryl, the virtual reality dino corn. Take a ride on me.
No thanks, Daryl. I'm good with the Camry.
Oh, okay.
Make the 2022 Toyota Camry an actual reality by visiting your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
Finding your niche is key to making it in today's world. Hi, this is Brett Goo with Henderson Phillips. I found my niche in the NFL for 10 years as a long snapper. Now I've found my niche with Henderson Phillips, helping business owners and executives get the most value for top dollar on employee benefits. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call or text me today at 479-651-2292. That's 479-651-2292.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multifunction LCD display, super boom lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Did you know that sometimes roof damage goes unnoticed? Have you seen a few houses in your neighborhood get new roofs in the past couple of years? It could be that your roof has damage. Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance adjusting and residential roofing. Let Brother come do a free inspection of your roof. He'll give you a complete analysis of your roof and work with your insurance company if it needs to be replaced. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, an increase in the sunshine. Our high this afternoon, upper 40s to near 50. Decrease in the clouds tonight. And overnight, low 20s north, upper 20s south. Friday, back to sunshine. Our high in the upper 30s north, mid 40s south. And then sunshine back in place for Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light Next, with 0 carbs and only 80 calories. It's brewed for what's next.
The Razorbacks have beaten Ole Miss for the 10th time in the last 13 meetings. They win for the 10th time in Oxford, Mississippi, the 3rd time in the last 4 trips. And how about the Razorbacks, who have won 5 straight in the SEC, 64-55, our final score. Hogs head home with a W.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
So learn a couple things during the break. It's a gelding, not a gelding.
Not a gelding, yes.
Similar to
this is all good things you need to know before you go to
Oaklawn.
Oaklawn.
A eunuch in that capacity. And apparently Bill and Harrison says, bring that boy to Harrison. We'll teach him how to farm and educate him a little bit. My family.
The only thing on a farm you'd be interested in is the farmer's daughter, as the country tune goes. So.
Take me home to.
But that's a good way for the farmer to make you a. What'd you call it? A gelding? We call it a gelding over here, but we could turn you into a gelding. I think they probably got tools on the farm for that.
I'd like to keep what God what God blessed me with. I like being a man. I'd rather not take my manhood away.
We'll talk to Rich. I bet Richard is getting a good laugh. I bet if I turn this phone on, Richard is laughing. Well, I don't have him queued up, but RD, we'll talk about it in a minute. Brought to you by Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, right at the entrance to Riley Farms. Dr. Sparkman, Dr. Brogan are there to give you a comfortable experience every time. They do all kinds of dentistry, not just the general teeth cleaning and x-rays and 6-month checkups, but also braces, implants, and cosmetics as well. So if you need one place for all your dental needs, it's Riley Farm Dental. Call 226-3500 for your appointment. That's 226-3500 or see more at RileyFarmDental.com.
Personal question. Are you SNP, by the way? My dad is. He said after 2 sons, a great first son and a great second son, he's like, that's all I need. So he's snipped.
I don't think that's probably how I put it. Yes, I took care of that after my third child.
Okay.
I thought three's a good odd number to quit on at 36 years old.
How painful is a vasectomy?
Not as painful as a fourth kid at 37, 38 years old. Let's just put it that way.
That could have been a loving surprise. All right, let's welcome in Richard Davenport into the program this morning. Richard, the big news kind of involving recruiting is the Hunt NIL deal. And I want to, again, it's not JB Hunt, it's the Hunt family, AAC. Just from your perspective, kind of the student athletes that you've talked to and maybe some upcoming high school recruits, how do you think this is going to impact Arkansas in recruiting?
Well, like you said, it's the Hunt family involved, not necessarily the trucking company, but still yet they're part of JB Hunt family, and it's a Fortune 500 company. The Arkansas and all the athletic programs talk up about all the Fortune 500 companies in Northwest Arkansas, job opportunities afterwards. And so when some family members started NIL like they did, kind of gets attention of kids, and also really in what they're doing too, involving community work. I think that really kind of catches the mom's attention, and the mom, and probably the dad, but probably more so the mom. The mom kind of embraces that, so it's obviously a plus.
Yeah, and is there ever a bad time if you're 20, 21, 22 to build a relationship, rub elbows, be on a working basis with someone in Northwest Arkansas named Hunt or a Walton or a Ty? I mean, I would think that would serve you well when your basketball or your football or your baseball or whatever career is over, to have that kind of connection, Richard.
Exactly. That's the thing that I think a lot of people overlook is just the educational part of it, and then the connections that it's involved in these NIL deals, and they get to start early networking with some of the more powerful people in the state and companies, and it's a big deal. And I was just talking to a parent about that who has a son that's doing quite well with NIL, and I was so envious of that, just thinking that, to have that opportunity at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, before you get out of school, to be talking to some of the more powerful business people in the state, and the connections that you get, there's no amount of money that you can put on that.
Nope. It could change your lifetime earnings dramatically, exponentially, just having that connection. So the thing that I was talking about this with Tom, the thing I notice that's different about this is, you go out to a restaurant or a car dealership or just pick any normal category business, and they write you a check to do ads or to come out for autograph signings or whatever the arrangement is. They're expecting something in return for that. With AAC, it's a nonprofit. They're partnering with other nonprofits to bring awareness and exposure. To me, it takes the pressure somewhat off the athlete. They can do good works and spend their time working with that. But, Richard, it takes the pressure off of, hey, if they don't sell more cars or they don't sell more insurance or they don't sell more meals, I might be out on this deal. I think it kind of changes the dynamics with this particular setup.
I agree because businesses, when they get into a business deal, the bottom line is the focus, and how much can this kid bring to us as far as visibility and possibly increase in business. And in this type situation, a lot of people want to make an impact on other people, and this is the way that you do it. And I think it's something that we all should embrace. If you don't have an NIL deal, you should maybe be involved in organizations that help other people that are less fortunate, and I think it's just a win-win.
Richard Davenport talking a little recruiting, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. RD, tell us about your recent talk and just kind of what Troy Ford is thinking right now.
He's a kid that recently visited Arkansas. And he loves Arkansas. He's a 4-star linebacker from Georgia. who's got a very impressive offer list, and a guy that I think Arkansas is in very, very good shape with. I know his dad was very impressed with Arkansas too. He wants to make a return visit to Fayetteville at some point, so one to keep an eye on going forward.
I know that you put out that Quincy Rhodes had received an offer from Jackson State and Deion Sanders, and I know he's got one from Arkansas too. Richard, in-state kid, North Little Rock, it's getting looked at by Primetime. How much of a recruiting wave is Deion Sanders making, not just where he's at, but nationally right now?
Well, I mean, just the name. All the kids know him, and some of the kids that he's been able to steal from the Power 5 schools, that's big. Obviously, some NIL deals seem to be involved there. So, but he's bringing attention to Jackson State, and you know that he's going to continue to make noise. But at the same time, if he continues to win, he won't be at Jackson State much longer.
Yeah, he'll be in the prime time then. I mean, everybody's kind of got him connected to Florida State if that doesn't pan out there quickly. But hey, let's shift gears, talk basketball, because big news with Nick Smith this week and Walsh and the McDonald's All-American label. 2 of the 24 in the country. Both of these guys were named. Tell us the impact this has moving forward for Eric Musselman's program.
Well, I mean, obviously it brings visibility, even more visibility. I mean, everybody knows Arkansas has one of the top 2 or 3 classes in the country, and kids right now in the younger classes, they notice that, and that, if you're a kid from California or what have you, you do notice that, and let's face it, Arkansas still has somewhat of a image problem, and with kids that are from out of state thinking, it's just cows and chickens in Arkansas. And when you have 2 high-profile guys, obviously one in-state, but one out-of-state, guys that are McDonald's All-Americans going to the same university, and it's Arkansas, that kind of piques your interest. And I know that happens. Kids start asking questions, asking other people about Arkansas and things like that. I know that for a fact. So it's just more visibility for the program, and then it shows that obviously Coach Musselman and the staff are recruiting at a high level, and that entices other kids and the lower classes to start looking at Arkansas maybe a little harder.
And in your opinion, the other 3 in the class, the Darian Ford, the other 3 in the class, how close were they to being on this list of 24?
I wouldn't say they're very close, because it's usually the top 30 guys that are in the usually in the top 30 before you really have a chance to make the McDonald's All-American team. But I mean, obviously they were nominees, so that's big, and that's nothing to sneeze at. And hey, 5 guys in the top 100. That's a pretty elite class, especially when you look at the rankings.
All right, so later today, I'm being forced to get in a car with Ty for 2.5 hours.
Forced and privilege, opportunity.
And go to Hot Springs. Tomorrow we're going to be at Oakland to do the show. You got any horse racing tips? You got any tips for survival for me? I mean, what should I do with what he is labeling as a young stallion that's going to be loose in Hot Springs tonight?
Yeah, well, always bet on the geldings. That's whenever I see a gelding, I always say, okay, that you can't.
Especially one with a long blonde, mare, a long blonde hair that's coming off of them. Yeah, your hair, it look like you.
Okay.
So,
like Aslan.
I don't know what that is, but.
Narnia reference. You didn't read the books? You didn't read C.S. Lewis?
Nah.
One of the best writers in the history of our civilization? No? Did you really not read? Did you read J.R. Tolkien?
Nope.
Did you read anything?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Richard.
Moby Dick.
Moby. Who's that written by again? Oh, man. That was probably a sign, wasn't it?
Pray for me, Richard.
I will, buddy. Hang in there.
And I hope to talk to you next Thursday. So.
Well, you need to be there for that young buck, because sometimes they don't make the best decisions when they're out on the town.
That doesn't sound like me.
He always wants me to go for the expense account. That's what he's wanting me to go for.
Well, that's the point.
Up dinner.
All right, Richard. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys.
All right,
Good luck
see you.
tomorrow.
All right, Richard Davenport with us here on a Recruiting Thursday in the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by Wave Rural Connect and Arkansas Valley Electric. New zones are open. Cedarville, Natural Dam, north of Van Buren. High-speed internet is yours in Uniontown and surrounding areas now. So if you've suffered with DSL, dial-up internet, forever you've had the satellite, and it's expensive and throttles you and doesn't have the speeds you need so your kids can do everything they need, and particularly right now with a lot of people doing remote studies for school, Wave Rural Connect is coming right now. $49.95 a month for internet packages, TV at $43.99, and phone packages start at $29.99 with Wave Rural Connect. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. That's 833-492-8372, or you can check it all out online at waveruralconnect.com. That's waveruralconnect.com. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
You mentioned picking up the tabs. That's one of the reasons I took this job, because John said that was one of the things as a great boss and a great leader of this company. You often
see how he
pick up the
changes
tab.
his tune, folks, when he's wanting something?
Well, Blair's going to pick up the tab tonight. I'm not really about that. He said he'd get me a Fresca for helping him out with the they changed the name. I had to change up they called so what is the Frank Sinatra song that I have playing on them coming in? The podcast that we're doing now, it's no longer the Laying Odds podcast. It's called I think it's The Horse Right Here.
Okay.
Have you heard that song?
I don't guess I have. I mean, New York. So,
yeah, that's the I'm going to have to pull that up just so you can hear it. But no, you don't have to worry about it.
I haven't listened to their intro.
Scott will pick up the town tonight. You're
Okay.
good. Don't worry about it. Basketball-wise.
Bring me the double porterhouse.
Well, yeah, seriously. We'll talk.
Got a larger cut on that bone-in prime rib there.
I just want to. I don't know what I'm going to eat tonight. We don't have to do steak. I won't make it that.
You said you wanted to go to McLard's. You'd never been to McLard's.
Never been to. We're going to get the big old mess thing.
Yeah.
Their spread or whatever. I want to say I don't know if I can eat that whole thing, but I'm going to do my darndest to try.
Maybe fun to watch you try.
I feel bad for our hotel.
I don't care really, because we got separate rooms, so I don't have to deal with you on the aftermath of all of that. So.
I did get asked by my roommate the other day. It's like, we go through more toilet paper than I ever. And I was like, I went to Sam's and I got the Jumbo Mumbo 32, 36 pack or whatever. And
that stuff's not cheap anymore. You can invest 20 plus in that in a hurry. Yeah,
it comes by quick.
What are your options?
Speaking of investing, I'm going to invest in a bet tomorrow on KJ Jefferson's Heisman odds at 150 to 1 because you can sell back your ticket, right? You know about this.
Well, if it looks more promising and the odds improve, somebody will buy your ticket on a parlay or something that, hey, it looks like this may hit Super Bowl. There'll be some of these stories that come up where someone's bet on one of the teams that end up in the Super Bowl, the Rams or whoever, the 49ers. 49ers, I bet you got long odds 6-8 weeks ago on them. And now if they get into Super Bowl, somebody be willing to buy that ticket at a discount. Yeah.
I think it's a little disrespectful to see I'll be the disrespect guy this morning, but KJ to be below Zach Calzada, below Will Rogers, who he beat, injured against A&M, and he beat Will Rogers last year. Miles Brennan didn't play when you played LSU. Max Johnson was the guy. And not Max Johnson, Nussmeier, excuse me. I understand Bryce Young. I understand the sex appeal of Spencer Rattler, Will Anderson. I get that. Max Johnson, I don't understand that. You played him a little bit, I guess, and they pulled him and they went Nussmeier. Anthony Richardson is Florida's quarterback. He's at 50 to 1. Hendon Hooker, Brosa like this. Hendon's at 60 to 1. I guess Luke Altmaier's Ole Miss's quarterback at 60 to 1, but to have Zach Calzada at 60 to 1 at Auburn and Will Rogers at 75 to 1, KJ all the way down at 150 to 1.
What does that tell you?
On Caesars.
Because if it tells you,
me the people at Caesars are idiots. That's what it tells me. They make all that money, and that
statement tells me more about you.
They are morons. That's what it tells me, that they have KJ that far down the list. And I know you like to
seriously. What is your takeaway? Because I know
I
know you're smarter than that last statement.
My serious takeaway is they don't know what Arkansas has on campus in the quarterback, the second best quarterback in this league.
You really think they know about all these other teams, but just not Arkansas?
They probably overlooked them, like everyone always does.
Tells
little
me
old Arkansas.
It tells me.
He took his glasses off. He's getting serious.
That they know about this Arkansas defense and the question marks. And a lot of these odds were set when you had a lot of defections. Maybe they changed. But it's not just, You're talking about Heisman, and yes, he has to play well, but so many other things. Let's go through this. What else has to go right for a team to have a Heisman Trophy winner on your team?
I think the 9-game threshold, the minimum is 9 games. Like you said, Robert Griffin III, Lamar Jackson, only 2 quarterbacks in the last decade or so to accomplish that feat with just 9 wins. So there's been 2 since 2011. So it can be done, just being clear. But the
path is skinnier. It's narrower unless you win 11 or 12.
It absolutely is. And Lamar lost to Deshaun that year, and Deshaun was in New York, and they gave it to Lamar. So
what else has to happen for Arkansas?
You got to beat Alabama.
Got to beat Bama. You have to beat a premier opponent in order for it to work out.
You can't. C.J. Stroud can't throw for 5,000 yards.
But we've also established 9's probably not going to work at Arkansas for KJ to legitimately have a shot.
So you think
right? McFadden was a far better player, in hindsight, and he didn't win it
and won 10 games.
Exactly.
Would he have won it if they beat LSU? If not for that scumbag Trenton Holiday taking that kick return back to the house, would he have won the Heisman Trophy? If they and I guess they would almost have to win the SEC championship, I think. You think? Well, hold on. Yeah, SEC championship,
vote after,
then Heisman after.
Yeah, right.
Do you think
they needed to win one of those 2?
Just one?
If you win them both, I think.
Troy Smith was a bum that year. A bum. He didn't do anything in the national championship
essentially what you're
game.
saying is Reggie Fish cost Darren McFadden a Heisman. Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to say that. I just know that.
I think that's what you just said.
They were up at that point. That changed the entire outlook of the game. Again, Mike Cotillion. We were talking to Danielle Musselman about Mariah going to Cotillion and what she's learning there. By the way, parents out there deciding or not deciding if your kid goes to Cotillion, I can't remember a single dance move and a single dance I learned there. Mm-hmm. Now my manners are better. I have good etiquette. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Thank you. All that jazz. But I would.
Did you learn to tie a tie?
Yes, I did.
See, that's another benefit out of that.
I would just encourage parents out there not to. Did you send Dylan, or are you sending Dylan?
No, they had Cotillion for. I'm not sure they still have that around here. They had it when they were too young for that, and I'm not sure that it's going on right now anymore.
Okay.
Our buddy Lance LaRoche used to be involved in that. Him and his wife were like owners, organizers, something to that.
The funniest thing is at the end of the year, we're in the Robinson Center in downtown Little Rock, and the parents are on the rafters almost and all staring at their kids, and we're in 6th grade, so we're looking up kind of freaking out because we got all these adults looking down staring at us. I was a goofball back in 6th grade. But yeah, back to the KJ thing. 10 wins, beat Alabama. Is that it for him to be in New York?
10 wins and beat Bama. I think you're in New York, but I didn't ask what it takes to get to New York. What does it take to
win the Heisman? Well, I'd have a pretty valuable ticket at that point if he was at least in New York.
And that's the point. I mean, the idea that this is just massive disrespect. Well, your defense has some question marks. Now, maybe a few of them have been answered, but these are still guys that have not played. And Arkansas is going to have to win, I think, at least 10, and that's going to have to include Alabama, and I think more like 11. And then you need Bryce Young not to play. You need some of these other guys that are going to be front runners to not play very well and have multiple losses.
Bryce Young needs to have his worst game of the season the first week in October when he visits you in Fayetteville.
Hey, the bloodline of any modern business is the computer network, the data storage, the supporting hardware. If it doesn't work, you are sunk. Almost out of business if your computer network is down, your internet's down, all that. Who do you call to keep everything working right and proper day in, day out for your business? Our buddy Daryl at hashtag 479-802-4978. That's 802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headaches.
More Arkansas basketball talk when we come back on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
You guys keep rocking. I love the show.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multifunction LCD display, super boom lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Attention residents of Cedarville, Natural Dam, and Uniontown. If you're suffering from slow, terrible internet service, Wave Rural Connect is bringing fast internet to you. The Cedarville zone will be opening up February 3rd, and it is time to pre-register at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372 for fast fiber internet, television, and phone. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We offer full details, paint correction, ceramic coating, and much, much more. There's a reason why we've been voted best of the best 5 years in a row. Stop by 5606 Towson for an estimate or give us a call today at 479-629-7486. Again, that's 629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Drives around Morrell, hits Note in the corner, three-pointer good.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey, congratulations to Arkansas for being the Ole Miss Rebels Black Bear Land Sharks last night. Which mascot did they use now?
I believe it's still the Rebels. But
They got a black bear. They do the land shark. I don't know. It's hard to keep
Land shark
track.
deals for their alleged defense they have in football.
They haven't had that defense in like 6 years.
That's why I said alleged.
They kind of had one under Hugh Freeze when they were doing some unsanitary things up in Oxford, Mississippi, but that is no longer the case. Lane Kiffin and Durkin just left, took the job at A&M, so I don't think they're going to have much of a defense this year. But I do want to talk about this basketball.
Two coordinators that he's had to deal with.
Yeah, Levy and Durkin. Yeah, so I do want to talk about this team and their performance last night in the Pavilion, which did not have a single bit of atmosphere for the fans in attendance.
Hey, if you got some cold water bass fishing in your plans during the day when that sun's up and it feels good, take along that Umbrella Flash Mob Junior. It's the best for duplicating small schools of shad. It can be worked from the top water column all the way to the bottom. And, hey, whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or you're just trying to impress your friends and family, the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior will help you catch them. It's available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior.
How about Trey Wade keep doing what he's doing? He goes perfect from the field last night. Jalen Williams, 18 points. Tommy didn't get a double-double. We lost money last night.
Yeah, because we bet on him to do that against Ole Miss.
And he had 3 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 18 points. Shot the ball well, but he did not get that
2 more
double-double.
rebounds is all he needed.
I know. He had a 13-0 run in the second half, which really got things going for this team. They've had some spurts. The spurtability is a term that Eric Musselman loves to use, and they had it last night. Now, I always love the interactions with Bob and Eric, Bob Holt, Eric Musselman, because they're just hysterical. Here was one of them yesterday that stood out to me at the very end of the press conference that I think you'll like.
You got to tell Van Horn to give you a break, icing that shoulder down. He can't use you 3 times on the weekend, man. It's, you're not 20 anymore.
I thought that my wife traveling was going to help, but it was a long night. Sleeping in a beach chair doesn't really help.
Maybe you should have had a pina colada or something.
Bob Holt, ladies and gentlemen.
What was the response on the pina colada?
He said something like, "Oh, maybe so," or something. I think it was pretty short or whatever. But the conversation.
Oh, the best was Mike Irwin's impression of him yesterday when he joined us 24 hours ago.
Yeah, Mike was.
Well, is it one of these Bob Holt,
because Bob's been here since
Irwin can get away with that.
Yeah, Bob's been here since 81. Mike's been covering the team for 46 years. So where does that put him at? 70.
He came to Arkansas the year I was born. He started covering the Razorbacks before I was born.
So is that 76?
75.
75? Okay. So that's the timeline. So he's known Bob for 40-plus years and worked with him. And they haven't
he
been
can get away with
co-work.
it.
Yeah, he can joke about that and stuff. Bob's a nice human being as it gets. Mike, I know Mike comes across sometimes as a little edgy, but Mike is a great dude as well. We've had
missed his call. He could have been not that he's not a star now. He could have been 10 times a star as a radio.
On radio.
Oh.
Well, he's been on radio before.
No, but if this is what he had done, and I know that it came along in the last 15 to 20 years. 20 years in our state's really kind of been the last, when sports radio came into its own. But dude, he would be awesome at it.
He's a talented guy, and he's a likable guy too. I know that he was talking about Alyssa. You talked to Alyssa Orange. You talked to Aaron Peters and Jason Carroll, who used to be there, and anyone else that's worked with Mike. Mike, he can get riled up.
Early on when I started working here 18 years ago, him and Bo came to me, and they were doing a morning show called Press Row. That's where Press Row began.
Came from, yeah.
It was Bo and Mike doing a show, and one day Bo said something that pissed Mike off, and he got all fired up. And the next thing I know, my phone's blowing because Mike has gotten mad and left the studio. He has left the building.
Who went to that fight? Bo works out, but Mike said it's a mean SOB.
Well, he's an old Texas guy. I mean, you just scrap with you. It was always fun listening to him. That's when they did that for a while. It didn't last long, but they did it on a daily basis when they were working together in TV at different stations.
What's the best combo of sports radio ever in this day? Is it Clay and Chuck?
I thought it was Ty and Tommy, but
let's not lie on this station. What's the best combo ever?
Derek and Tommy.
All right.
Rick and Randy?
I mean, I love Rick and Randy because I grew up listening to them, and they've been always great to me. Was it Clay? I mean, I didn't listen.
I thought it was the day maybe me and Drew did the show together. Maybe that was it, you know.
It's not going to be serious.
That one's
here.
got my vote. I mean, that or Drew and Phil and Maddie.
Hold up. Where did you get that shirt?
Oh,
That's
my
a
girlfriend
cool
made
shirt.
it.
That's a cool shirt. Look at that, Tommy.
Yeah.
I like that shirt.
Doesn't look like a homemade shirt at all. So.
In all seriousness, no. Is it realistic?
I don't know. I'd have to think. I mean,
Tommy Smith in his heyday. Like I mean, listen. I'm 20.
If we're going to go outside the sports genre, that's probably it. Probably Big Dave and Tommy.
Or what's the not Bob Costas?
Back in the old Magic 105 days, you know.
Not Bob Ryan. What's the old country guy that's still
Bob Robbins?
Bob Robbins.
And he was always a lone Mike. So.
Yeah, he's good. But combo.
Oh, if we were going to go any place in radio, it'd have to be Tommy Smith and Big Dave back at Magic 105 back in the day.
Okay.
I mean, we're going back to the 90s now, so way back.
Way back in the day.
But I'm sure a good Little Rock Christian Academy student wasn't listening to anything like that
I
on
was
his way
a
to
good
school.
kid in high school. The University of Arkansas is the one. It was the issue. There's too much stuff up there, man.
Yeah. Hey, one thing that won't be an issue. We're talking about game times and best times. We got 1 o'clock. You know what you do? You show up at Sassy's about 11 on Saturday, or you get there after the game at Sassy's Red House on North College, the original, or Sassy's Barbecue and Grill just off the Weddington exit for pregame or postgame meals or both. It's a perfect place for hungry basketball fans. We love the smoked wings, honey sriracha. The way to go. Tender brisket, pulled pork. There's always something great on the menu. The sweet potato tots, that's the side. It's the only.
Yeah.
Double up on that. Sweet potato tots when you order that brisket or those wings or whatever you get. It's all at Sassy's, North College in Fayetteville, Steamboat Drive. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
Tommy, apparently Mr. Pibb remembers the fight that Bo said it was obvious to everyone that a listener probably isn't going to read the newspaper. Apparently that was the origin of the fight, that Mike Irwin and Bo Mattingly were ready to shut his throats.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I made a pizza with pork rinds and sour cream.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Start 2022 with a splash from Burton Pools and Spas. Save up to $5,000 on a fiberglass in-ground pool. This is a limited time offer from Burton Pools and Spas. Only the first 15 customers will save $5,000 off a new in-ground fiberglass pool. Invest in your family and the backyard of your dreams at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. I'm so excited to be starting our 30th year of helping folks drive better in the River Valley. With tens of thousands of vehicles sold, we've learned a few things about what our customers want when they're buying a nicer, newer car, and what kind of service they expect after the sale. That's why we have a non-commissioned sales staff, Rath Road Ready Used Cars, and one of the top Meineke car care centers in the nation. But we understand you still want to save money when you buy. That's why this month you can save up to $3,800 below retail on the biggest inventory of Rath Road Ready vehicles we've had in over 2 years. Plus, with used cars still hard to find, we're giving up to $2,100 above fair value for your trade-in. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. What a great time to save and start driving better today with Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer,
but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
We're remixed and remastered at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Some of your favorite apps, drinks, and desserts are now even better the second time around. Check out the sizzling cheesy bacon mac and cheese bites, a blast from the past with a whole new vibe. Also back are the famous Fridays fried mushrooms and the ultimate cheesy bacon cheeseburger. And all new at Fridays is the Oreo Madness, house-made giant Oreo cookies with cookies and cream ice cream coated in red and white sprinkles, served with chocolate sauce and a fresh strawberry. Come by or order online. It's your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to AshleyAir.com to request service today.
Oklahoma State has hired former Vanderbilt head coach and former Auburn defensive coordinator Derek Mason to take over. I thought that we were talking about this yesterday, 2 days ago. It just seemed odd to me, right? Like, steps down and takes what is presumed. I don't know if that's a Harsin thing, if they couldn't get along, or what the deal was. But, Tommy, I'm telling you, you've just brought up the coordinator issues that Lane Kiffin has. And I couldn't tell you who he hired. But Durkin went to A&M. Levy went to Oklahoma. I don't think, and they don't have Corral. I don't know if they're going to win the Jackson Dart sweepstakes or not, the former USC quarterback. But I think
Lane Kiffin's still looking. I think Chad Morris is available. I mean, you know,
it's open. Yeah. I can't remember if I think he hired someone at those coordinator positions, but I could be wrong. But with this this move, I don't think Auburn's hired a DC yet. But I think, man, you go to Auburn this upcoming season, that might be the worst team in the SEC West. And I know we've said that.
When we say that, though, it never, I mean.
But they were this year.
Yeah,
right?
But no one was saying that before the year. No one was saying Auburn's going to be the worst team in the West. I don't remember where they were picked, but I know it wasn't last.
I need to spout that? Do I need to ask Brian Harsin? Brian, I think you're going to be the worst at SEC Media Days.
The only way to get that to actually come to fruition, to think that into being, is for people to pick them 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then they end up 7th. It's quite motivating when you are 7th in everyone's predictions. So, no, the thing you don't want is off-season conversation about how terrible they are. That never manifests into reality for programs like Auburn. So we need to, talk them up and then
let them fail.
It's reverse psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
build them up, make them think they're okay when we know they're not, and then it'll, come over. Problem is they're gonna fire Harsin at some point, and then they're gonna hire somebody else that they may actually figure it out again, and they won't talk about it publicly. But you think they wish they'd have just left Gus Malzahn alone? Yeah. He was beating Bama.
One out of every three times?
Kind of on the regular.
Yeah.
Tell me who's had more success in the SEC against Bama than Gus Malzahn.
They beat him in 2017. They beat him in 2013. And he was the OC in 2010 when they won. And I think he's beat him another time, too.
So, and that's how you're measured there, right?
Yeah.
How you do against your rivals. So what matters there is how you play against Georgia and Bama. That's what matters when you're at Auburn. Those are the two big rival games. And they're not easy rival games, obviously. But
speaking of rivalry games, did you watch the Tennessee-Florida basketball game last night where Tennessee fans and players were chomping the gator as Florida walked off the court? 78-71 victory, I think it was for Rick Barnes' Tennessee Volunteers. And Gator took it. Tyree Appleby, former Jacksonville, not Jaguar. What's their mascot? God, we played them in high school. Red Devils?
Yeah.
Okay. Former Jacksonville Red Devil, I think, is where he went to school. He was he had to be held back and restrained. He was ticked off. And
well, as someone that sat in the now defunct and demolished Georgia Dome in 2006, when Georgia profited from the Reggie Fish mistake, and then got word that USC had been beaten or was going to be beaten, and that Gator chomp that they were doing in there.
Florida, okay.
Yeah, I'm going back to the football game. There is nothing more annoying or punch-worthy almost than someone getting that Georgia that clap about 1 inch from your nose. That should be justifiable cause to start a melee.
So is it good in certain situations when Arkansas loses that they don't really have because I know some girls like to put their finger on a nose like piggies, hogs, but we don't necessarily have we do horns down.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a universal thing. We don't really have, do we have, we call the hogs or whatever, do we have a hand signal that's on the reg that Arkansas fans, outside of just the double bird?
I'm afraid it's also the one used at the busiest traffic intersections in most towns.
Yeah. So maybe in some cases it's good that Arkansas doesn't necessarily have a hand signal or gesture that can be used against us.
Yeah.
In such a way. Not that we can't get made
How do you
fun
do
of.
the reverse call the hogs? I don't
can't
know.
really do it.
Yeah.
You just, that's I guess a situation. But, oh, man, I would hate, back to that 06 game. I don't know if I've had a more painful sports memory. And everyone says, 2018 National Championship, what happened in Game 2? I just didn't grow up playing baseball, so it wasn't as big a deal. I would have loved to see Arkansas win a national championship, but as a 2006, 94, 5th or 6th grader, when you're there, is that right, Drew? When you're there and you think, even though you just lost to LSU before, but you have people telling you that they win, they could go to the national championship, and you watch that play occur, there is nothing more devastating to a kid that's at that age
I can
than
imagine.
I was.
Dylan's at that age right now. That makes me feel so old that you were the same age as my son is now when I was there working in my 3rd or 4th year on this job or whatever it was. 3rd year.
Time flies when you're having fun. You can look at it. You can look at it a bad way or a good way.
No, that's fine. What's the alternative? But
be in the ground.
Anyway, back to Florida. They're not good at basketball this year. They got problems.
No, they do. So is Louisville. Louisville's let go to Chris Mack, and according to WLKY, I think it's a television station down there. I don't know how valid this is, but Kenny Payne, Bruce Pearl, Will Wade, and Nate Oates are potentially up for this job. Apparently,
aim high.
If you're
Nate Oates, Louisville better job than Bama in basketball.
Correct. I would look at that if I was
Auburn. I don't know. Which one's the better?
Dude, Pearl's got them number 1 in the country.
But is it a better job? Again, you're in the shadow of a football program, but
so is Arkansas basketball, though.
Not like those places.
I'm
not saying football's not important here, but basketball is much more on an even playing field in our state with football than it is in the state of Alabama.
That's thanks to Eddie Sutton and Nolan Richardson.
Correct.
But to your point, those Auburn fans, and I know that Arkansas fans feel like they have the best atmosphere in the SEC in college basketball, which you do, but and be lucky you don't have to go to Auburn this year because you would lose 100%.
You may lose at home.
You may lose at home, but you would not win that game on the road in Auburn, Alabama. Bruce Pearl has that fan base riled up. You got to remember, 2 years ago, they were a play away. If Samir Dowdy, I think it was Samir Dowdy, if he doesn't foul Kyle Guy in that three-point attempt, they're going to the national championship and beating Texas Tech.
So we agree Louisville's like a top 15 program.
Yeah, ish.
I don't know if Alabama and Auburn, either one would be a top 15 college basketball program all time. Obviously, Auburn is right now, this year, snapshot. But who else did you say? Oates, Pearl, who else?
Will Wade, and I didn't know the other guy. I think I would be more inclined with Oates going there than I would be whatever. Will Wade, maybe he's trying to get out of the mesh that he's made in LSU. At some point, the Hammers.
How do you legit, if you're Louisville, with everything hanging kind of over Will Wade's head, how do you legitimately make him even a candidate for the job?
Winning money cures all. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. That's a hard sell if you're an athletics director.
This isn't like Louisville's administration is saying, well, here's the 3 or 4 names we're most
as a report.
This is somebody who's got an opinion of who maybe they should go after.
My guess is it's a highfalutin booster told him this, trying to gain more attention about the job.
But here's the other interesting note that's obvious. Those 3 coaches all coach where? In the Southeastern Conference. Yep. 7 or 8 years ago, or maybe a little longer, the roster of coaches in this league wasn't good enough that anybody was coming into this league to steal very many coaches.
Telling me Darren Horn and Tony Barbie and some guys
John
like
Pelfrey.
that didn't draw attention.
So it tells you what's changed in this league. Now you got coaches that are reportedly targets in a pretty major coaching search that's going to unfold. Louisville's a big time job.
Yeah. We got a great AFC championship ahead between the Kansas City Chiefs and Cincinnati Bengals. 2:00 this Sunday. Mahomes, Burrow. But also, we think about the dynamic playmakers, Kelsey, Hill, and then the other side, you got T. Higgins of Clemson and Jamar Chase of LSU. Well, apparently, Les Miles didn't think that Jamar Chase, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, wasn't good enough to play at LSU for wide receiver.
Your dad said this, Jamar. The one thing you can't do is tell Jamar or Joe that they can't do something. That's going to end poorly for the opposition if you do that. When did you first notice that trait in yourself, Jamar, that if someone told you couldn't do something, I don't know if you have a story or anything, where you noticed that happened and it fired you up?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a story either, going back that far. I can tell you honestly, one of my best stories ever. Les Miles told me I couldn't play receiver when I was coming out of high school. So, that was something I had on my shoulders growing up. Les Miles told me he thought I could play cornerback. I wasn't really in full position at receiver yet. So, I just kept working in my craft the offseason, waking up early in the mornings to work out. Just kept focused.
We talk about motivation with KJ. We were talking about it with Auburn earlier, how you don't want to put him at 7th because they'll probably want to finish 7th in the SEC. Motivation and failure is a powerful tool that you can equip and use.
You don't want to be around people that it doesn't motivate them.
No.
If failure doesn't motivate somebody, move on. That's not the person you want to be with.
Yeah.
Do not hitch your wagon there.
Because
I want people that fires them up. I mean, you're one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that, hey, failure is not an option, just not. We're going to dig as hard as we got to do to get out of this hole. Failure, not an option. Did
you just sneak a compliment in there?
I think I misspoke.
Okay.
I will gnaw my arm off with my own teeth before I'm going to lose and fail. That's the kind of people I want to be around.
Oh,
you don't want to. I mean, if failure doesn't motivate you, get out of here. Reasonable, just get out. Yeah. Not on my team.
Yeah, I mean, I think when, and these aren't MFs directed at you, but when I come into your office and say this bleep and bleep, this bleep and bleep, then you're like, I guess this guy has a little bit of fire inside him
or bad vocabulary
at 27 years old, but he doesn't ever showcase itself on this program.
Not yet.
Because that's called self-control, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by Ashley Air, proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics. Heat up your home with a free furnace when you purchase a qualifying new system from Ashley Air, and until the end of February. Hey, how about no down payment, no interest for 72 months on qualifying systems, and the Ashley Air Quality Assurance Guarantee, their 12-month parts and labor warranty. A free furnace with the purchase of a new system from Ashley Air. Just go to ashley.air.com. That's ashley.air.com. You mentioned the playoffs this weekend in NFL. 61 degrees on Sunday here. Means outdoor fire. sitting outside watching the game. It's going to be awesome on Sunday.
Oh, I thouut you were saying like Kansas City, like when you
No,
said
I'm talking here. I don't care what it is in Kansas City.
They can
I don't
freeze
care
to
what
death.
it is out in L.A. I'm just care. Can I sit on my patio and watch? It's one of my favorite sports days of the year. 61 degrees, the projected high in the River Valley.
I don't think.
Awesome.
When we look at my Sunday
Pulled pork
plans,
coming up.
I have to look at my Social Security on Sunday because you advised me and Drew to do that just to
Just make sure your statement is accurate.
So that's my Sunday plans outside.
If that's your full day plans, then you do need some help.
I'm good.
So.
I will be sitting there and prepping for Monday's show a little bit, but that'll be good. Oh, by the way,
I'm gonna make a pulled pork if you want any.
There you go. I'm gonna make this later. You know that you had an idea. I think it was Wednesday, maybe it was Tuesday. Putting Eric Musselman's face on the Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
We need you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that and put it on our station's accounts
There you
for
go.
the game against
Claim
West
that
Virginia.
idea for someone steals it because
Yeah.
it was a good idea.
Oh,
I have about 4 of them a year. That was one of my better marketing ideas.
Make that graphic, so hopefully get rid of that. All right, Friday show again. Reminder: we'll be live at Oaklawn Racing Casino and Resort tomorrow.